It's my mic is got reset in OBS. So yeah, okay, now we have audio. Nah, things got reset. Okay. Please tell me it didn't. Okay, I think we're good to go, everybody. I think you guys can go ahead and speak up, introduce yourselves, and I can check your audio levels.
Check 1 2.
Yo, hello.
It's hitting yellow, yeah.
Everything okay?
Looks good. Yeah, I had to unplug my headphones the other night, and apparently when you do that, it just resets. So, alrighty. How is everyone tonight? Welcome to the playground. I'm Pixie Phoenix, variety streamer here on Twitch. We're here tonight doing Vampire the Masquerade, Philly by Night. I'm joined by my storyteller, Nox, Skot, who plays Idaho, Zack, who plays Victor, and I'm Alice. We may or may not be seeing Martha tonight. We're not sure, so we're gonna play it by ear. So how's everybody's week been?
So far, I mean, it's been pretty good. Normally, I don't hawk shit, but seeing as how I saw yesterday, I was reasonably impressed. I know everybody's avoiding theaters because of COVID and all of that, but if you get the opportunity, go see Scream.
I know I want to.
It is. I won't say it's certainly not as good as the first one, but it is definitely at least on par with number 2 or number 4. It is the ghost face kills are absolutely brutal, like maybe more brutal than they've ever been, and it is excellent. Go see it. Go support.
If I could trust the other people in a theater to
Yeah, that's
far
been
enough apart, but no.
That's been our problem with the last 2 experiences. The movie theaters we went to is just people like sitting way too close and then taking their masks off and wanting to breathe all over you and shit.
Like literally, we're in the IMAX
done
seating. IMAX, like it's seats everywhere. We were the only 2 on this row in the center. One guy decides he's gonna come sit by Zack, but 1 seat over, and I'm like, okay, he gave him a buffer. It still sucks that there's like 12 other seats there. Then this couple comes in 10 minutes into the movie and decides to sit beside me.
What the hell?
Yeah, and I'm just like, I can't deal with fucking humans right now, not the stupid ones.
If it's a packed theater, I can understand,
so
but like,
empty.
there's so many open seats, like give people room. Like there's no reason for that.
No, I wouldn't do that even if there was no COVID. What the hell?
That's what I don't get about it is people just I don't know. Maybe
Personal
it was
space doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Like I'm 5'1" and I'm standing in the store, I'm trying to look at something. I'm kind of blind, so I'm like, I got 6-foot motherfucker up on my back, leaning on me, breathing on me to reach above my head to get something. Like he can't wait.
Oh my God.
I want to I just want to stab people sometimes. That's not a threat. I swear, Twitch, that's not a threat. Don't ban me. But yeah, mental health wise, sometimes I feel like I'm gonna snap. But other than that, I know some of you guys were messaging me today asking how my hand was. The pain and the throbby is not going away, but I did have a CAT scan today. So now we wait a week and a half for me to get the results. So I will keep you guys updated, of course, especially on Discord. And yeah, that's just been the weekend, really. So, can we give our viewers a refresher, Knox, where we left off last week?
So,
Since
last
it is
week.
a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So last week, as the coterie decided that they were going to head out into the city to go back up Threnody, who is under threat. The first stop that they made on their way by Ten Toes found Ten Toes wreckers with cops on the outside trying to look in, trying to see what was going on there, as that was the last place that that Ruby had crashed the police car there after having been shot multiple times. From there, the members of the coterie, Idaho and Al and Michael, along with Harvey, their somewhat feral thin blood, headed to Noel's row house and found a fairly grisly scene with one of their Nazi contacts, having been brutally dismembered and barely alive, deep in torpor. Collecting the remains of her body, throwing her in the trunk, sending her back to the beacon, the three kindred headed on to the temporary haven that Threnody is using, and found that the building was covered in shovel heads. And that is where our coterie left off. So, with that said, welcome everyone to our Monday night Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, Philly by Night. We're starting in the middle of the story, as it were, so no need for housekeeping. So we can get right back down to it.
Completely out of character for this run.
But before we get started, let's check back in with the audience at home. Vic, what are you doing?
Opening packages.
Everybody else is putting their way in harm's way. What's Vic doing? Opening
I'm making sure all the wounded and people in torpor and stuff like that are protected. I'm trying to keep them safe. We've got 3 that I think are in need of care. There's Ruby, Fairchild,
Haddonfield.
I keep mixing them up.
Yeah, Fairchild is beyond
Haddonfield, and then now we have a new one as of last week. So I'm taking care of the 3 of them. Marla. So
yeah,
soon.
And the wall's on our way. So
I
get
was gonna
those
say,
eyes ready.
you're running a goddamn hospital out of the apartments now. So
just put a plus signal outside. You know, the little universal hospital signal outside the apartment across from the club. So all the wounded vampires come in.
So, Idaho, Michael, and Al, how are you approaching this? You guys have parked the car, you're out, you're walking towards the apartments. How are you going to get to apartment 346?
Do we want to yeet Al again?
You don't have a way to eat, Al.
Yeah, the leader is back at the hospital. I mean, we can just go in the front door, right, and go up the stairs. At least that's a possibility.
Okay, so we see a bunch of shovel heads on the roof. We see a front entrance. We got a number Would we be aware of like a fire escape or a side entrance, like or a garage, like
So
where the dumpsters are? I don't know.
you can attempt to search for if you want to take the time to search on the outside. Do a real quick run around on the sides and see if you can't see an alternate way up. That is definitely an option. But from your current vantage point, looking at the building dead on, there's no.
Are we armed, guys? Idaho, are you guys armed? Yeah.
I
Okay.
thought so.
So we're all armed.
I'm not going to speak for them, but I thought everyone talked about.
I'm
grabbing
armed with a
weapons.
0 in firearm skill. Hell yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Idaho, do you do you want to take lead and see if you can smell like the people before we turn the corner?
Well, let me just ask real quick for clarification, Knox. The shovel heads on the rooftop see us, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So, okay. So, I mean, we're not going to be the only one that could be possibly spooky under these or sneaky under these circumstances is Al.
She's already been seen.
But if we don't want to go in the front door, then yeah, I mean, I can go take a peek and see if there's anything, any other way to get in there.
So so let me just clarify. So is somebody going to look around on the side of the buildings? Is somebody running around the side of the buildings to go look and see if there's anything?
How tall is it? Is it like 5 stories or like 20?
It's like 10.
Okay, and we're going to apartment 3.
8 or 10,
like third floor.
Like that.
We're closer to the, unless the inside of the building is full of.
Yeah, and with you saying you have limited amount of time, like it would take time. I figure that would take too much time, and we should just like go in and see if we can like.
As far as the alley, is there not like a dumpster that we could push under like a fire escape? Is there a fire escape?
So I just want to ask out a game real quick. Is there some reason? Well, I'm asking Al and Michael. Is there some reason we don't want to just go in the front door?
It was just to cover our backs. But since we seem to be like running to provide backup and we see shovel heads, we might just want to like go in through the front, but with like a plan. That's why I was thinking maybe you take lead just because you can smell them before we turn the corner and we can be prepared for whatever waits around the bend.
Yeah. So let's just go in and see what is awaiting us.
Yeah, like see if the front door's open, and if the front door's open, we can just like go in formation.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
Okay, so you guys are just fuck everything else. You guys are just going in the front door together.
I would like to do sense the unseen.
Okay. Wits and aspects.
Yes, sir. Oh wait, no, that's not the right thing. I have to actually get the scripts for tonight. Copy pasted the wrong thing. What did you say it was again?
Wits and aspects. So for you, that's going to be 3 1s, 2 and 2 with that double hunger you're sporting. Before I say anything, do you want to burn a willpower to reroll? Okay.
What did you decide on? I'm sorry, I had to step away very quickly.
That we were going to just like, since it seems like we're like providing backup in a really quick time, if the front door is open, we just go in through the front. And have Idaho take lead because he can like smell what's around the corner and we can have a little bit of capability of taking it on.
Yeah,
but I did sense the unseen.
I can ready my pistol and
like be armed and enter. And I did a sense the unseen and I would like to re-roll. So how many can I re-roll?
Reroll 2.
Give me a look, kitty.
As far as you can tell, you do not see anything out of the ordinary.
The purrs are a perfect luck.
Did you want to do anything before?
Based on your answer, I'm wondering if I should. Yeah. I'll roll sense.
Okay. So wits and aspects for you, that's going to be 4 and 3. You've got 2 hunger, so 5 and 2.
Kitty.
This is the snuggle butt.
Doo-doo. My camera got kind of moved. 1 second. I actually see what I'm typing. Okay. You said 5 and 2, correct?
Yep. Okay. So when you look around, you see at the on your far left corner of the building, away from the door, there are 2 people who are lurking in the alleyway. They don't look from where you're standing like Doss. They certainly aren't doing anything to cover up their heads or anything like that, and their facial features definitely don't put them as being Nos. So there is that. So there's.
Can I tell that they have seen us, or have we alerted suspicion to them at all?
You're not close enough to be able to tell if they've seen you. You just see them.
So since I have line of sight, can I use senses?
You could, but hold on just 1 second.
Okay.
The other thing that you notice
Ooh.
when you use Sense the Unseen is that there is a Nosferatu who is there, who is lurking in the parking lot.
Do we recognize this Nos, or we can't tell?
You're
or-
too from you guys are at this point. You're too
How did
far
it
away.
catch to my
You
head?
can see the Nos. You recognize them more by their mannerisms than anything else. They're kind of huddled down
Right.
and all that, but they're not. You can't see from here.
Okay,
Which-
so I'm gonna tell the group, kind of stalling for Zack. Yeah, I'll inform the group that we have company ahead and behind. There appears to be, from what I can tell, a Nos hanging out in the parking lot, right back that way by those cars. And then we got these 2 inside. I'm hoping they haven't seen us yet, but yeah, I can. There's 2 in there.
I mean, we're kind of throwing subtlety out the window. And as long as
I know, like we've already been spotted,
Yeah,
so
if there's nobody guarding the front door, let's go.
and just cover our backs and be prepared for whatever is going to be in the next 2 flights up.
But
Yeah.
does no one want to maybe go approach the Nos and see if there's a reason they're hanging around this location? Or
I mean, there's a bunch of shovel heads, which is very similar to the night that like Idaho got changed, and we have been kind of deflating the cam, so like a mass turning
Yeah.
wouldn't be too far off from Shaw, who needs to bulk up his whatever. And it's shovel heads, so there's a lot of like similarities from when we found Idaho.
So okay, so
Miss.
are the 3 of you just going to, or you're just heading for the door, or are you going to split up and Al, you're going to head back to the Nos, or what do you guys want to do?
I mean, this is a critical situation. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I say we
yeah,
like go
no,
up
no.
and
Once
like
I thought
just
about
go up.
the enormity of the situation,
Yeah, the shovelheads are on the attack. Let's go.
yeah, I say we just throw caution to the wind.
Okay, so you guys are heading inside.
Yep.
Okay, when you get to the front door, doors open just fine. But when you get inside, you kind of wish they hadn't. The front lobby is trashed. It looks like somebody threw a party there and waited until everybody got good and drunk and then said, "Oh, by the way, the owner did something shitty here," because there's holes in the walls. There are anything that looks like it might have been glass. It's all broken. A chair has been thrown down the hallway. It just looks like there's been a rampage here. There is blood.
I'm gonna
not-
turn. Oh yeah, sorry.
There is some blood. It's not a whole lot of blood. Idaho does not strike you immediately as being kindred vitae, which means it's likely whoever was standing at the door who got caught in the got caught in the lobby happened to be wrong place, wrong time. But there is definitely some destruction here.
I'm going to turn and whisper to Idaho and ask Idaho, can you smell Threnody?
Idaho, if you want to attempt to smell Threnody from here,
Get the two foofs right here.
I mean, is there any sign of anyone being nearby, whether from noise or scent?
currently, no. There's no sound. In fact, that is something else that is adding some ambiance to the scene, as it were. There's no sound. There's no lobby music playing. There's no sound of like the electricity being on. The hallways going deeper in are fairly dark.
Okay.
Not too dark, of course, for a kindred to be able to see reasonably
Right.
well, but there's this is kind of there's nothing here that would cause you to immediately want to use your senses to be like, oh, that's a sign.
Yeah. So I'll just, no, I don't smell anything.
So it's like creepy lack of smell almost.
Other than the blood.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, but I wouldn't normally be able to smell from this far anyway. So let's just head to the stairs.
So as you walk by the elevator, which is in the front, you realize that it's probably a good thing that you weren't here earlier, as at least one of the elevators has crashed.
We're going to take the stairs.
As you head up the stairs, the first flight of stairs is reasonably unobstructed. There's some trash in there. There's paperwork that's been strewn all about. There's no blood that you see. There's nothing like that. There is some graffiti on the walls, but that looks like maybe it was there pre whatever else had happened here. But when you get up to the second floor, there is more obstruction when you're getting up to the second flight of stairs. There is office. There's like office. I cannot think of the word here. My brain is going.
File
cabinet. There you go. File cabinet that's been thrown in there that has kind of been mangled on the stairs. There's office chairs that have been thrown on there. It looks like somebody's wardrobe with their leopard print costume and their go-go boots has been shattered on the thing. It's not an insurmountable object.
We can climb over it, really.
Yes, but the biggest issue is more the location of it. It definitely seems like this was put here intentionally to prevent people from attempting to go up, or at least to slow them down.
Basically, yeah.
Well, after I collect the leopard print go-go boots, we'll continue on.
Just throw them on. Throw them on. You're like, these are perfect. Let's go storm the castle.
I'm going to sneak in these kitty cat shoes.
It's a bargaining chip for Slade later.
Oh, Lord.
So, yeah, either, we'll just clamber over the obstruction or move enough of it to get through, whichever is quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick question. Are you just going to start kind of shifting stuff out of the way to go?
I'd like to give it a good, like, kind of like nudge with my legs, see what shifts, if it's solid or if it's climbable. Like, try kind of test out the solidity of it,
Yeah,
of the stack.
like a quick assessment.
Yeah, like
Okay.
push it and like kind of kick it here and there as quietly as possible, but just testing its weight bearing capabilities.
When you kick the nearest thing to it, the first kick definitely everything kind of shifts
Hmm.
and shifts down real quick and hard. It definitely would not have held your weight if you'd attempted to climb on it immediately. But having already kind of moved it and shifted everything, on your second and third kind of kicks at it, it seems to hold pretty well.
Like fell into place. All right,
Yeah.
let's scramble up it.
So, as you climb up and over the obstruction, giving yourselves access to the second floor, Idaho, that's when the smell of blood hits you. It is not a small amount of blood. It is a lot of blood. You can smell there are things mixed in the blood. You're certain you smell that there's some blood out there that has maybe some uppers in it, somebody who might have been drunk. There's definitely some blood that has somebody was on ecstasy. You're pulling all from your previous experiences, and you're pulling all of these different resonances and smells. But there's just so much. It is at least to your sense of smell, it is a
Miasma.
cacophonous bouquet.
Which means that
All encompassing,
what I'm
oppressive.
smelling is not kindred. The majority of that would not be kindred, I assume, if I can smell these substances that have been imbibed.
No, in fact, I would go so far as to say that you don't smell any kindred vitae here.
Okay, so I will let the group know what I'm sensing as we continue on.
So, are you guys going to continue up the stairs, or are you going to head on to the second floor? Or are you just going to keep heading up?
Yeah, we need to go to the third floor, I assume.
Okay, when you get up to the third floor, the stairway is unblocked. It's easily unobstructed. The door to the third floor, however, is completely obstructed. There's debris that's been trashed in there. Looks like a couple halves of a broken door thrown in there. It is just a massive amount of crap. It looks like shit's just been stacked haphazardly.
In the doorway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like almost to clog it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need to get through this somehow.
I would like to do a sense the unseen.
So 2 and 2 for you.
Mm-hmm. Oop. Nope. Hey, come back here. Let go. I need a new trackpad.
You don't see anything from what you in this narrow hallway. There doesn't appear to be anything
Behind us?
No one's hiding. Looking back down the flight of stairs, there doesn't appear to be anybody who's directly behind you. Even peering up to the next flight of stairs out, there doesn't appear to be anybody who is lurking in the near vicinity.
Do I smell anything?
You can still smell the blood from downstairs. That is permeating your senses in a very palpable way. You don't, however, now that you're basically standing in front of what would have been the entrance to the third floor, you don't smell quite so much blood, any blood really come wafting through that. Now it's not difficult to say if that's because there's just so much crap stacked in front of the door that you can't smell anything, or that there's nothing to smell. There's no way to be able to know that currently.
Okay. I mean, is there any?
But you also, but to be fair, sorry to interrupt you. You also don't smell any kindred vitae, which
would stick out.
Oh yeah.
So, is there any give to the obstruction? I mean, pushing on it, does anything happen?
It is deep. As you start to grab and start to pull on some stuff, you start to realize that this is not just like they put up like a mattress and a couch to try to block the door from whatever. Like, this is a lot of crap that is, like, as you are looking through the stuff, you think you see the back of coils of what looks like maybe it's a refrigerator. You think that you can, that you smell the very faint smell of fuel. So you think that maybe they put like even stoves and just were starting to stack stuff in front of the door.
Shit.
So, what about making our way to the 4th floor and then
through the fire escape?
Or find a so surely there's more than one staircase. I mean, isn't that like a code requirement or something?
So you, again,
I'm going to go ahead and assume that they've like blockaded all the door entrances, and our best bet might be something that's not door related.
So I was gonna, so to answer kind of 2 questions with one answer, is you don't have enough information to answer either one of those. And you didn't bother to go look around the side of the building to see if there was a fire escape on which side that would be. So, so you have.
I thought I brought that up.
So you have a couple. So there's a couple options here to you. Obviously, you can keep going up, up into the unknown. You can head downstairs back to the 2nd floor. And attempt to figure out if there's a way to get up from there and to investigate what's going on with all of the blood in there. You could theoretically go all the way down, back out the front. Your way wasn't obstructed when you last checked, and then head out and see and kind of surveil the outside of the building.
I mean, my vote would be to head back down because heading up is getting closer to the shovel heads.
Or you could always go right out to the car and leave. I mean, there is always the opportunity to say, fuck this, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Is this in our technical territory? Because it's Threnodies. I'm like... because Threnody and I are both like heads of the Anarchs, would that be seen as a betrayal amongst the Anarchs?
It would be difficult to say. Now, obviously, Threnody didn't ask you to come,
mm-hmm.
and has no way of knowing that you were here, as far as you know.
We texted. Mm-hmm. They texted last week. And said
we contacted her and said, "We're here. Where are you?" And she sent us the apartment number.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So yeah, no.
Back with the number.
So then, in that case, there's any. I mean, again, without her, that could be
anybody on her phone.
We couldn't figure out a way to get in, or we saw, 10 shovel heads on top, and there was the 3 of us, and we decided that a 3-to-1 ratio was a bad situation. I mean, there's any number of different ways.
It's bad for them. It's bad for them. We're going.
The other, but here's the other half of that. As a fact, you've been seen here.
Yeah.
Which means that that information is worth maybe something to somebody else. The fact that you backed out, that you didn't decide to go ahead, that you basically came in here, looked around, and then tucked tail.
Can't happen.
So
we're a little bit. So I'm under the mindset. Michael's under the mindset that we're in too deep and we need to do something, but we can't just like bow out now. But do you guys want to split and somebody go up and see if they can go downwards, and somebody go outside and see if they can come up?
I think splitting up is a bad idea, but
I agree.
I think we should just go to the second floor and see if the door's open there and see what we find out.
See, I'm trying to get to the 4th floor and try and find a way down, because like these particle boards in these buildings sometimes are really easy to get through.
But then let's go up to 4. I just was saying going up or going down is the same distance, but going up to 4 gets us closer to the roof where the shovel heads are. They
Yeah,
might.
but they're another 6 floors above. It's a 10-story.
Okay, let's go to 4.
It's a 10-story building, and they're on the roof, and we're only going up to the 3rd and 4th floor.
There's also, however, I would also like to point out that just because you saw them on the roof does not mean that they are.
Yeah, I was about to
elsewhere
say
in the
that doesn't
building.
mean there won't be somebody meandering around. We just have to make sure that we're willing to put up with that shit.
So, heading out. When you guys get up to the 4th floor, it is strangely not nearly as trashed as it feels like the 2nd and 3rd floors. There's no obstructions going up from the 3rd to the 4th floor. There is, it looks like some maybe petty vandalism. There are a couple doors that have been kicked hard, it looks like, but it does not look actually like there's all that much damage on the 4th floor.
Do we see a fire exit sign or anything?
You don't see an exit on that immediate hallway as you exit from the stairs.
Okay.
Idaho. Here on this floor, you smell 2 things. One, you smell faintly somewhere on this floor blood. It's definitely human blood. You also smell vitae.
Well, I will share this information with the group.
Where's it coming from? Down the hall, I take it. So like we basically opened up into like an office hallway.
So it would be the inside of this building. This is not a nice building.
Okay.
This is the carpet is very worn. When you go up into the hallways, it looks almost like hotel hallways, where it's a whole bunch of rooms going down and everything looks the same in all directions. It looks very, very similar to that. Even pondering it for a minute, the size of these rooms must be just goddamn tiny. These apartments have to be just ridiculously small.
And I'm not seeing any OSHA signs at all anywhere. Like there isn't a "you are here" and the fire exit's here and this is where the hose is or the axe or anything. Not a goddamn thing.
Well, she wants the hose again.
Again, we started off Philly by Night Pink Bingo strong. I hope you guys have got your cards ready.
Oh, it's already carried over into Blades.
Oh, God damn it.
From where you are,
nerds!
Hallway heads basically all the way down on one side. You're kind of at the corner of the building. You can basically go straight forward and go down, and it looks like there's a lobby or a semi-lobby area, like where the elevators might have been, a little ways down. Or you can head straight down the side of the building, just down towards apartments and looking to go around the corner.
I'm gonna let Idaho's nose lead us.
Idaho, your nose is telling you. So the Kindred Vitae is heading basically to your right, heading straight down that hallway, going towards the end of the apartments. The human vitae, or the human blood, excuse me, it's not vitae. The blood that you do smell, a little bit of it, is straight ahead towards the lobby area, maybe just past it. There you go.
Well, I guess we're following the kindred vitae smell.
Guess, did I roll for Sense the Unseen? In case there's someone or something here with us?
You can definitely roll Sense the Unseen. That would be 5 and 2 again.
I'll just re-roll.
Yep, you can absolutely do that.
Ooh.
You can reroll 3.
Yeah. 3 white, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
Damn.
God. Oh.
I feel like this is also an appropriate time. I would have said something beforehand, but you rolled too quickly for me. You are down to your last willpower, Alice.
Oh, because of the night.
Because it didn't
Still
reset.
continue. We're still
at night, right?
continuing from the last session.
So,
Forgot about that.
you don't see anything down the hallway.
Well, of course.
So, you guys are going to head towards the Kindred Vitae?
Sure.
Okay.
I will also do Sense the Unseen real quick.
Okay.
Because, you know,
Check
what the
your
hell, why not?
willpower.
Oh, no, I'm not going to re-roll anything. I'm just doing the Sense the Unseen. So let's see if we get lucky. Hey.
You don't see anything.
I still have all my willpower, so if something comes to the apartment, I'm gonna fuck it up.
Yep.
You mean the wall's corpse? Or no, I guess it's not our corpse, but
Famous last words.
the wall's remains are in trouble.
So, when you start to head down the hallway here, there is less and less, funny enough, less and less signs of any sort of intentional destruction, and a lot of signs of vandalism. A lot of what I'm saying is that there's a lot less signs that somebody came in here and intentionally threw a fuck up party, and a lot more signs that there are people just who lived here didn't care. Vandalism happened, break-ins happened, and the tenants here basically just kind of turned a blind eye to it.
Right.
When you get to the hall, when you turn the corner, all of the doors going down the hallway are closed. In fact, they don't even look like they've been particularly damaged, except for one that's maybe about 4 doors down from you. Not 3 doors down, because fuck that band. It's 4 doors down.
Is that where the aroma is coming from?
The aroma is definitely coming from. What you see is that the door is completely just gone. Like, the door is not even on its hinges. It's just an empty door frame. There is... You can smell the Kindred Vitae. It is not particularly strong, although you do smell it. But you can hear above you. It's not close, but you can hear stomping on the floor. You can hear, or on the roof above you, you can hear what sounds like walls being punched. glass breaking.
Okay. I assume we're going to go into this room, or what? Are we going to respond to the noise above us?
No. Hope that the noise above us doesn't notice. Can we see inside the room?
If you go down to the room, there's nothing to obstruct you. You're still basically standing.
Yeah, I thought that's where we're.
Yeah, I thought we were heading towards there.
So,
Towards the Vitae.
you said the door was wide open. It was blown off the hinges, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do we see?
So if you guys head down to the door and look through.
Yeah.
When you look into the room, the room inside is trashed. In fact, you would not have been able to see it from the way that it is. It's actually kind of facing away from where your car would have been. But there's no wall here at all. In fact, this goes right out the side of the building. In the middle of the room, there is a kindred. He is gasping for air. He is missing his face, as if somebody has peeled it completely off.
Wonderful.
He is stretched out, spread eagle, completely naked. There are what look like improvised spears. They are railroad spikes with like broom handles attached to them that have been driven through his bone, through his wrist, and through his knees, pinning him to the ground. And there is another one that is
I'm looking
through
for a
his
friend.
chest. That looks like it has actually gone straight through the floor, that is pinning him to the floor. There are multiple bite wounds all over every spare part of his body. It looks like a crowd of kindred descended on him and drained as much as they possibly could, while still leaving him alive. On the wall next to his body is his face. It has been nailed there, stretched out, and on his face, you're not sure if it's spray paint or if it's something else, there is a black hand that is over his face and onto the wall.
Am I getting anything from like not a cult, but like
I thought we had mention of the black hand before in our article.
Idaho, just to single you out and say, yes, you are correct. Slade passed along a photo of a similar logo of a black hand.
Shit. Ooh, what was that in regards to again?
I believe that he was giving you information about something that had been found in the sewers regarding a passageway that had been found that had that marked over a door. I believe that was the same night that he also told you that the Camarillo was bringing something into
Yeah.
the city.
I think it was too.
So we're going to cut away for just one moment. Vic. Back at the apartments.
I think I just went to sleep and woke up stupid.
Moira comes up to you and kind of takes you to the side discreetly and says, "This is incredibly inconvenient, I'm sure, but the lassie you guys found upstairs is not doing very well. We really need to get her to help. A hospital would be best, but
Wait,
she's
This is
she is
Marla.
yep.
We
She
haven't
is lost.
dropped
I
Marla
think
off at the
I-
hospital.
Did you drop Marla off?
Yeah, remember?
Idaho
Me-
dropped her off
Oh,
at
yeah.
the hospital.
Me and Harvey threw her in the back of the hearse and took her to the nearest clinic and just dropped her off.
Oh well, then
I'm taking care of
Haddonfield.
Haddonfield.
Mix it up again. Nawal and Ruby.
Noel hasn't got there yet.
Yeah, Noel's not there yet.
Oh, no, it's not there yet. Okay, so Haddonfield and Ruby are the two that I'm taking care of now. But so
Yeah,
Okay.
I took her to the clinic.
Okay, strike that. She comes up to you and tells you Ruby's not doing very well. She needs something to help her heal.
all right.
As inconvenient as it is.
No, that's fine. I understand. We probably need some blood tonight, so I'm gonna go out. I'll text Romano and tell him to take over as far as protection, and call me if anything happens. I'll be right on the way back. But I guess I'm gonna have to go out and hunt, and get some blood for the people that are still recovering.
So how are you going to go about this? Because obviously you can't with both Haddonfield and Ruby laid up. It's not like you can go get a bowl and start trying to slice people up on the street and empty it into the bowl and then run back as fast as possible.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of bringing people back, but my specialty is usually the people that are asleep or passed out, that have that Sandman specialty. So I usually look for people that are passed out or close to it anyway. If I can't find anything, I guess backup is going to be calling Sabine or Guilt. I know I'm probably not going to reach Sabine, but calling Guilt and just letting them know that we might need some blood.
Okay, so what you want to do is you are trying to hunt and specifically find people who are, I guess, who are going to be knocked unconscious or who would be passed out. And then you are going to attempt to basically kidnap them. Let's be honest, it's kidnapping. You're gonna
definitely
try to kidnap them.
I'm not sugarcoating.
Bring them back while they're still unconscious. Feed them to Haddonfield and Ruby, and then take them back. I'm just trying to make sure that I have the plan
Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of riding the fence on whether or not I'm going to take them back or just let them drain them dry. I'm kind of riding that fence, like they need to heal, they need to get back up, and I'm kind of, but we still don't need any more disappearances around our club either. So it's kind of a fit. I'm kind of riding that fence right now.
Is
there anybody on the sex offender list living around here? Here, take off.
Find people on the sex offender list.
So here,
somebody involved with the Catholic Church.
So here is the thing about that. You can absolutely go hunt and find somebody who is out there who is passed out and bring them back. However, if you just let them kill them, that's going to probably be a violation of one of your convictions, which is I'll never hurt innocents.
Sex offender registry, I'm telling you.
Which that will, so if you do that, that will invoke a stain.
Okay.
Sex offender registry. You can just look it up. They'll tell you exactly where they are in your neighborhood.
How's he going to read it?
I can't read.
There are applications on your phone that will read out a website.
And you think he's smart enough to figure those out?
I can pretty much guarantee you
figure out a map.
An app you can download on your phone that will correspondingly go to a different app and then read it out to you. That's not gonna.
That's too much for Vic. We know this.
Not only that, but that just tech. I started as a developer. I'm now working on more technical stuff, but I kind of know how the development works. That's not in play. That doesn't exist, unfortunately. Yeah, so I guess I'll call guilt.
Just go rob the blood bank.
That's even worse. There's cameras at the blood bank. There's a whole lot of that's not. At least if I go with guilt, that's untraceable blood to humans. And
also,
I understand that's.
Here's the other thing: blood bank blood, particularly blood that's been spun out and separated, is absolutely worthless to most vampires. So, okay, so Vic, you're gonna call guilt. When you call, what do you? They pick up. It's the same girl from before who is like, "Thank you for calling guilt, where you can leave yours behind. How do I help you?"
Hi, this is Vic calling for. I'm an associate of Michael Starwell. I have need of some blood and wanted to know if you.
What? Did you forget this one small fact about coat check girl?
Kind, right? This is kind, right? Coat check girl is kind.
Yeah, she's kind.
Okay. Hold on.
Masquerade.
All of my guts and I just went, no.
I'm calling to see if I could speak with your master bartender about some illicit mixes.
There's a long pause, and she's like, "Sure, 1 second." After maybe 2-3 minutes, the phone picks up, and the guy says, "Eric here."
Hi, I'm calling in to check in on some possible we came before and had some samples provided to us in some flights, and we were calling to see about procuring some of, not necessarily what was exactly in the flights, but at least the same brand of stuff that was in the flights that we had received.
He says, "Well, now," says, "we do a fairly robust turnover in terms of our product here, so He said, so I'm not going to be able to get you the exact same thing that you might have had, I don't know how long ago whenever you were here. He says, on the other hand, if you are needing to procure a flight of something particular for this evening, he's like, I would be more than happy to help you with that. Is this a to-go order, or is this something that you are going to be bringing a party here for? Is this a private party for you?
This would be a to-go order for someone who is incapacitated and trying to revive.
He's like, there's a long pause, and he's like, so what you're telling me is you have no idea about this person's tastes?
No, they are not currently conscious.
Got it.
Wait a minute, and you're speaking about who now? When you say you don't know their type.
Haddonfield.
Okay. I'd say he's been around Ruby long enough, he ought to know that. But, yeah. New guy.
So, there's another pause, and you can hear, like, typing on a computer or on a keyboard of some type. After a brief minute, he's like, I think I've got something that might be able to help you. He said, the problem is, I could be wrong, but if you're telling me that you've got someone who's perhaps not in the ability to come make a pickup themselves, then chances are sounds like maybe you need delivery service.
Do we have another vehicle besides the Charger and the hearse out of game?
I don't.
So I know both of those vehicles are out on their venture.
You don't currently.
Okay.
Martha, you're muted.
At one point you had vans,
not
but
me.
those vans have...
No, it's Martha.
No, I'm used to me being the one that's muted and talking on mute. So when you said you're muted, I was like, oh shit, it's me. Oh no, it's not.
Get delivery.
Okay.
I think that's the wisest idea.
Yeah, delivery might be the best idea right now. I don't have a vehicle.
He said, unfortunately, all of our drivers are out. It could be a couple hours before they're back. He's like, if you need immediate service, you're going to need to come pick it up. He's like, if you can wait. He's like, is this something that needs to be done before dawn, I'm assuming?
Probably.
He's like, if you need to get it done before dawn, he's like, I can probably have it there right before dawn. Or maybe just as the sun's coming up, which may or may not help you, but if you've got some place to keep it, it'll stay overnight or overnight.
That should work. Because Ruby doesn't have that restriction of like dawn or before. I'm out of game. Sorry, I'm saying this just to kind of rush the procedure, but in my mind, I know Ruby's a day walker, so that doesn't necessarily work. So I'm fine with that. That's fine.
He says, all right, if you can wait, then I will have somebody get it out to you. If push comes to shove, when we close down things, if there's still not somebody to give it back, I'll bring it out myself.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
He says, who am I putting this order under? Do you have a running tab with us?
Yep.
Michael Starwell.
He goes, I can absolutely do that. He says, I will, if anything changes, is this the best number that I have you on caller ID? Is this the best way to get back in touch with you?
Yes, and it's not actually the club, it's the apartment right across the street. So
behind.
If you can, or behind, right across behind the club.
He's like,
the club is closed for tonight, so we're in the everyone's in the apartment.
He goes, all right.
How would you give out this information?
Sorry.
Give me the address.
I'm Vic.
Yeah, he's playing his character. He's playing to his
point.
character.
I can't.
No.
I hate to say it, but I can't play smart all the time. Like I have to
know.
sometimes be stupid.
I know.
It hurts so much, but I have to play to the character.
Oh, like that meeting with Victoria. That was brilliant.
Exactly.
So
Not
good.
something I would have done as anyone else, but Vic walking in, that was played out just as
I
Vic.
loved it. That was so
Beautiful.
good.
Okay. I will learn.
So, Eric tells you that he'll have some sent out to you. So, is there anything else that you want to do, Vic?
I want to go up and at least check on Ruby and see if she's going to make it until that delivery. You know, if it seems like.
So when you head up to check on Ruby, when you get up to that floor, you smell something. It smells gross. Kind of almost like sewage. When you walk up to the door and you reach for the door handle, your hand hits something before it hits the door. And it's almost like you didn't see it, now you do see it. Your hand hits the door, and it is a vaguely humanoid figure. The face is wrong. The nose is too flat against the skull. The eyes are a little too wide. Its mouth is slightly distended out, almost giving it kind of a snout look, like a short snout. Its chest is very, very wide. But its limbs seem very small. It gives it almost kind of like a weird humanoid bullfrog look. And
This sounds like a Filipino vampire.
And its skin is white
Very much
and
so.
almost translucent. When you bump into it and it realizes that it's been seen, its first immediate response is to immediately try to punch you and then take off. So what are you going to do?
Catch the
grab the arm and kick the back of his knee.
Okay, so the first roll is going to be a defensive roll. So you are rolling your.
And I guess, hold on, let me see before I do anything.
Wouldn't it be grapple over brawl?
Well, it's both.
Oh,
well,
that's right.
The grappling is a brawler specialty, so it's tied in. I'm actually looking to see if I'm going to. I think I'm going to execute prowess, which is a potent. If I can, before.
Yeah.
It's a rouse check, so I will make a roll.
Okay. You get hungrier.
First time in 3 weeks. Or 3 sessions.
As you pull the blood through your veins, you can hear that beast saying, fuck him up.
That's the plan.
So, your first roll will be your... So are you going to... So you're attempting to grab the punch or dodge the punch?
Grab the punch so that I can kick his knee. I'm
Okay.
hoping to grab the punch so that I can, use it as
leverage
him.
to get his foot
back
behind
his
his knee and kick his knee down.
Okay, so that is going to be your dex and brawl. You are at a slight disadvantage, so lose 1 die because this is kind of a surprise attack.
8, 7.
So it's going to be 3, 1, 2,
Half their
3,
potence
4,
reading.
5. So 3, and since you rolled to, what did you roll to your prowess for your strength?
I haven't yet. Oh, for prowess, for the rouse check, it says add the potence rating of the user to unarmed damage value as well as feats of strength. So it'd be 3 prowess.
Now
and
this is not a
potence rating. I only have 1 potence, so that's not going to round up. So 11.
What are you? Okay, so for the prowess, when you roused your blood.
10.
Oh, excuse me, you didn't do. This is not. I'm dumb. This is not.
He didn't rouse the blood to increase.
He didn't blood surge.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is your dex and your brawl. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, and your potence.
Well, if we're not using strength as the thing, then it wouldn't work because potence says specifically feats of strength. So if we're using dex for this, then potence won't count. But I'm executing it anyway and ahead of time.
Yeah, when you kick him, it'll be strength, I guess.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah. So that's going to be.
So then is grabbing the arm considered grappling? That would be the only thing it would give me 1 extra for.
I would say yes, but I would also say that's mitigated by being surprised.
Negative. Oh, so it'll be 8 total anyway.
So it will be 6 and 2.
I will spend the willpower because I got them all. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, rub it in.
I'm just saying I haven't been able to use them so far tonight, so I'm using them. Let's use it and make it. It's only 1. Oh well.
Okay, so
with nacho chips.
Hey, Zack.
It's not the normal Vic roll, but
whose chips are those?
Whose chips? What? I'm sorry, don't get the reference.
Scott Chester. Whose chips are those?
Oh, nachos. Nachos.
Okay, so on a tie.
A tie.
It goes to.
It doesn't happen often.
No, it does not. So it goes to the defender. So you are able to catch his hand. So you've got that part of it. Now you said your next part was you were going to attempt to kick his knee.
Pick out the back of his knee.
Back of his knee, so that
Okay, so that is going to be your strength and your melee. So that's going to be 5, 3. So.
Oh,
Why
it goes
isn't
feats
it
of strength
brawl?
in the prowess. So 8, 11.
I thought melee was like if you're fighting with a knife or something, and that unarmed was brawl.
Is it if that's the case, then it would be your brawl.
Honestly, don't know. I'd have to look
I
that
thought
up.
melee was weapons.
Otherwise, why have melee and brawl? Brawl is unarmed, and melee is.
That makes
armed.
sense. That makes absolute sense. So yeah, so then it is your brawl. It is your brawl stat.
So
But
brawl
you don't
strength.
you don't get the additional bonus because you're not grappling here. You're
right, but I still get the potence that I use the rouse for. So that'd be 13 total.
Yep.
Damn.
So 11 and 2.
Crit, bloody crit.
Crit.
Haven't seen one in a while.
Crit.
Bloody crit.
Oh!
No bloody crits, but holy crap! I don't think we've ever seen 9 successes before.
That's the best roll I think we've ever seen.
That's the most.
It also doesn't count because you rolled your hunger at 900.
Oh,
backwards,
dude.
Yeah, we definitely need to clip this.
Oh man!
Such a high and then such a low.
Sorry.
Now we know how Dallas felt like.
I guess it was meant to be.
What the butt?
Because I rolled 9
what
on the
butt?
Okay.
Yeah, somebody better screen this, clip it, highlight something. Somebody out there, please. Oh my lord!
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh
wow!
And he's going to reroll.
It's all right. I can reroll 3. I got willpower.
Hold on.
And he's going to reroll the 1. So he matches your 9. So
you guys,
yeah,
what a fight!
I've got 3 whites I can reroll. So
you're gonna reroll.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh.
So on a margin of 3, because this is such a fierce contest, and because you are so strong, you catch his punch. When you go to kick him, it is in the back of the knee. It's not entirely like what one would consider like a controlled kick. When you kick him in the back of the knee, it is almost like basically trying to kick him through the floor while still holding on to his hand.
He done kicked his poor leg off.
Which is more or less what actually happens. You're holding onto his hand and you kick down, and the force of your kick actually rips his hand straight off in yours and sends him flying down the hallway in the direction that you kicked him.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we don't even know. Oh my god.
I suspect though this is the thing that's been hanging around.
This is the thing that was
your apartment.
The big rat.
The big rat that was after your touchstone.
Yeah.
That's what
okay.
The big rat that was after Marla, I think.
Yeah, that's my bet too.
So
there's the one hiding out in the bedroom.
So you are holding this thing's hand now.
Eat it.
And it's 5 or 6 feet away from you, from where you have kicked it. And there's V-tape everywhere now. It smells gross. This is the least
from the wrist up. Just glug, 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 glug.
It is simultaneously both highly enticing and also maybe a little gross. This is not what you would consider to be a clean source of blood. Just from your smell, you can tell that, Vic.
It's like
This is
Carmen.
sewer trash.
So, what's your next action?
I have to try and contain him. I can't let him get away. So I think my next action is going to be to like try and bomb rush him.
So you're just going to try to like rush in
and yeah, I've got to try and I got to try and tackle, grapple.
Try to pop him in the head hard enough to knock him out.
Just rip his head off.
Yeah, but
we'll see.
Victor fashion.
First move, grapple and restrain. Like I need to get him so that he does not run away. Because he's already going invisible and shit. Like I don't need him getting away from me. Like I just need to grab him while I can see him and.
Okay, so you are going to. So you're basically going to charge him, and are you just going to tackle him? Are you going to try to punch him? Are you going to? How are you going to do this?
The first move is just going to be kind of a restraint move, just to grab him.
Hold on. What are you going to do with the hand?
I'll
shove it down his throat.
I'm running.
Shove it down his throat.
Throw it as him as I'm running. I throw it as him as I'm running to him.
No.
Okay, Deadpool.
Yeah, I'm just seeing like. Boom.
Okay, so
that was literally out of Deadpool 2. Opening.
Was it out of 2?
So you're basically.
I was right. Okay, my bad.
So
sex traffickers first, right out of that.
So you're going to basically throw the hand at him as you charge him, and then you're going to attack him and
yeah, it's like a distraction. It's like, here, catch this, and then I attack him.
Let me give you a hand.
So when you go to attack him, you charge after him and you throw your arms around him. And then you feel him crawling all over you. And you go right through him.
Asshole.
As you turn around at where you tackled, you catch a bunch of rats reforming back into this vaguely human shape. And he holds up the hand that you ripped off and kind of wiggles his fingers at you. And then charges for the center area of the lobby and throws himself over the side.
What the hell?
Do I get a chance for a shotgun shot before he gets over?
So you can, if you want to take a shot at him, that will be your dex and firearms. So you're looking at 3 and 3.
I'm gonna re-roll those two.
You should absolutely roll those two because those are not the correct numbers.
3 and 3.
White, 2 white. Damn it.
So 3 and 3. So you have, excuse me, you have 3 firearms, 3 decks, so it should be 4 and 2.
Holy crap.
Do you want to re-roll?
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't blow through all that willpower. You'll be in my department.
Yep, this is down to your last willpower now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Great.
Bad roll. Bad roll. Bad roll. Shit.
So you wheel out with your shorty. You pull the trigger. Shot goes wide. He drops over the side, and by the time that you run over and hit the side, it's like he was never there. At which point, Ruby.
Quick question about this creature. Would there not be a blood trail?
There's blood. But he put his
You
hand
said
back
he
on.
No, that's not what he said. He said he held it up and the fingers waved at you. He was holding his hand as it waved at you.
No. His hand reattached.
Did it? Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. What I heard was he holds the hand up, and I'm like, that's odd.
Well, I thought it meant like he disassembled his rats, reassembled, held his hand up, reattached, wiggled the fingers, and jumped off.
Little confusion. Got it.
There is blood from where Vic did rip his hand off, so you do have that.
Yep.
But he's gone. Like a ghost. This would be the point when Ruby would kick open the door, weakly holding her knife in her hand, being like, seeing you and being like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm trying to keep you safe. That's what's going on. In the meantime, I'm trying to collect all of the blood and send it to the Tremere so we can put wards on this place around this blood. So this guy.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Okay, so you are going to attempt to figure out some way to collect the blood.
Yes.
This seems like an excellent point to take our bio break.
Message received.
And finish my bagel that I started 30 minutes ago. You called me as soon as I tried to start the bagel. I was like,
no, you don't get to eat.
All right.
So now we go back to Vic.
Well, everybody, we've hit our intermission. Go take care of yourselves, bio break, hydrate, have a smoke, whatever you do. We'll be back
15 after.
All right, guys. Put you on the be right back screen. Please hang out with us. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, we're back. The second half of our Vampire the Masquerade Philly by Night adventure. Tonight I'm joined by Knox, our storyteller, Scott, who plays Idaho, Zack, who plays Vic,
Hello.
Martha is our Michael, and I'm Alice, or Al. And we were just about to run in and have a chat with Ruby.
So, actually, we're going to come back to that.
Back to you guys.
And head back to the rest of the coterie.
You guys had expectations. How silly.
Yeah. So,
In the shitstorm that is our lives. Okay.
And I'm
The
done
three of
eating
you.
now, so it doesn't matter. So
so the three of you are standing in the room with this body and a very, very open wall out into, well, 4 stories of nothing.
So it doesn't lead to a fire escape.
No, it is straight down on this side.
What is across the street from this wall, or across the way of whatever it is on this wall?
So the next building over is kind of a double floored. It looks like there's maybe 2 stories of some sort of corner store or something that's out on the side that's nearest to you. And then on the other side of that, or kind of in the back corner of that, it goes up an additional 2 floors. It looks like maybe there's like somebody's apartment or something back there.
What about below us?
What was that?
What about below us? I mean, if I put my head out, do I see a window of the 3rd floor apartment underneath us?
You do indeed.
time to Mission Impossible this shit.
That definitely sounds
They
like
yeet
something.
me down the wall.
I was gonna say, actually, this
kick in
sounds
the
like
window.
that sounds like something that Idaho would absolutely do.
Yeah. I mean, is there like a balcony or anything, or it's just there's a window?
There's a window.
So there's nothing to stand on or anything like that.
No, you'd have to go through the window.
Die hard, motherfucker.
I mean,
Mission Impossible.
Lower me.
Around the waist, jump out the window.
I mean, can't we check first to see if the window's unlocked?
How would you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just.
If you can tell me how you would ascertain that information, I can give you the role. But I can't physically think of how you would do that.
Hold Al and let her hang down there and check the window.
Okay, so you're going to
Hang
Just
a person out of the
thinking out
gaping
loud.
hole in the wall.
I mean, you could do that. That is absolutely a thing. If you wanted to, if Al is willing to acquiesce to this, and you're willing to grab her by the ankle, basically, and hold her over the side to see if she can ascertain
Or see anything.
Yeah.
or see
not only the
inside.
walk, but like, what do I see? What's going on?
Yeah, because I'm kind of having trouble wrapping my head around how I would get the momentum to break through the window if that was the route we wanted to go.
Well, first we hang me over head down, so I head first, so I can take a look-see. Then we flip me back up and lower me by my hands, and I kick the fucking window in.
Are there any bed sheets? Sorry, I'm kind of speaking out of game, but
Yeah,
if there's
you
any
are.
bed sheets or any rope or anything,
There's a
you could
corpse
lower.
stakes
you
through
could-
its chest into the
Yeah,
floor
no,
if
there's-
you want to
yeah.
tie a rope to it. Or like hold on to one of those.
Just theoretically, if you wanted to be a giant asshole, you could use him as the battering ram. But
No, I was more thinking in the terms of her disappearing, of her, because she can't do it while he's looking at her.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to lower you down and let's see what you see.
Yeah.
okay, so this is going to be a cooperative. So how are you going to do this? Are you basically going to
I'm
just going to lay on
I'm
the
holding
ground
Idaho's ankles as he lays down and lowers
and
and
just
Al
lower
climbs
her
down.
as much as we need to so she can check.
Okay, so you are going to. I'm assuming Idaho, you're going to make this roll. So that's going to be your. I'm going to say your strength and you're attempting to break in here. So I'll say your larceny, and you're going to get an additional 2 die because Michael's helping you and Alice is being helped by you.
I'm going
It's
to
a
rouse
group
the blood.
effort.
I'm going to rouse the blood.
Okay, so you're going to rouse the blood and increase your strength?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll.
Can I do it again? I'm kidding.
Okay, so it's going to be, so you've got 2 strength, and so it's going to be 4 and 2.
4 and 2.
Come on, messy crit.
Hilarious. Haven't had one yet.
Critical hit.
Nice.
Please.
Okay, so you holding her by the ankles, you hold her down. You have a firm grasp. Michael's behind you and is holding you kind of extended out a little bit, giving you a couple extra inches. Al, as you are being dangled by your ankles 4 floors up, head first down. One, you notice all the voices in your head are very quiet.
Sorry.
But when you get dangled, Idaho actually puts you in a perfect situation where you can test the window, and when you pull on it, it gives a little bit. It is locked, but you think, given where you are, that you could either exert some force yourself and open it, or that, frankly, you could just break the window.
Well, first part of this was to peer in and see what I see before I make a judgment on the window.
Okay. Inside the room, it is reasonably dark. Looking forward into the room, the room is still whole. The door is still on the hinges. The room looks, when I say whole, it doesn't look like there's any damage. It looks like somebody has been living here, but there's also a noticeable missing group of stuff in the apartment. It looks like the refrigerator is gone. It looks like the couch is gone. It looks like there's furniture missing, but it does look like there was some residence here.
Typical things vampires don't need.
I'm just imagining half of the abandoned homes in Fallout, but yeah.
I'm imagining all that shit that was blocking our entrance
But
from the
if
second floor.
Yeah, if I don't see that anyone is
but
present,
you don't see anybody in the room, and the door is closed.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll go ahead and force the window, break the lock.
Okay, so that is going to be your strength and so you have a couple different options here. You could either just try to physically push the door, push it open, which is just going to be your strength,
which is crap.
Alternatively, because you know how to because you can see the lock from the inside, and you have a little bit of give, you could theoretically attempt to break in, which or basically get the lock open,
Right.
which would be your dex and your technology.
Almost said larceny.
It doesn't help you anyways.
Uh,
Now you can either way, you can rouse the blood to increase either your strength or your dex if you want to.
I thought I was already pretty hungry.
You're at a 2.
Let's just try straight out to open the lock.
Okay, so that's going to be 2 and 2. Okay, that is enough to you get the door, get it up just a little bit, and you snake your fingers inside, and you can't quite just flip it, but by tapping your fingernails against the mechanism, you're able to eventually pop it open. It pops open quietly. You're able to actually open the window. So, are you going to crawl in and basically tell Idaho, I'm going to try to crawl in, or are you going to try to open the window more and then have him kind of swing you in?
I almost said I'll do an acrobatics check. Wrong game. Well, if what I'm imagining is if I'm hanging head first and I've fiddled with this upside down, I'm wondering if I have, I don't know if it's dexterity, whatever, to kind of flip my body over.
So
and
here,
you know what I'm saying, and swap hands and crawl in.
So the issue is that you are currently facing the building as you're doing this, which means that if you push it open and then you just try to crawl in, gravity is obviously going to pull you as your body falls. You're going to come away from the building. So that's going to be fairly difficult. Now, if you open the window up and you can kind of get your hands in, or if you can kind of aim yourself, Idaho can obviously help you here, since this is definitely the kind of stupidity that his clan is known for. And he can try to kind of slingshot you into the window.
Sounds like fun.
I feel like it's more of like a chuck or an alley-oop, more like, you know, like a lob. Fear pump.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your plan here? Are you going to have him yeet you into the window?
Well, I think she's going to open it more, and I'm going to try to use some momentum and get her going, and then just help her into the window.
Yeah.
Okay. So Idaho, that is going to be your increased strength, and I'm going to say it's your increased strength and athletics here. But again, because this is the kind of stupid daredevil stuff that Ravnos is known for, I'm going to give you a +2 to it.
Nice. So what? I don't even know what my athletics is.
1.
So basically, I have 2, 1. I have 5. So
3 and 2.
3 and 2.
Come on, Missy. Okay. Do you want to re-roll?
Yeah, sure. I'll roll 2.
That is enough.
Awesome.
Only because it was a 69. Nice. So
there goes that bingo card.
If 69 is on your kink bingo, you're fucking vanilla.
Agreed.
Right, we were trying for a message.
I mean, it is a bingo card. There's got to be wild cards on it.
that's a free space. That's a fucking free space.
Fine.
That's a free space right next to fisting. Anyways, so you kind of swing out, and then you swing maybe a little harder than you mean to, and let go. The result of it is that Al comes out from the building, swings in, and hits her stomach on the window going in, which causes the momentum to basically straighten her out as she goes in. And she lands in a heap on the floor.
She made it though.
Fucking ouch, Batman.
We're vampires.
That hurt.
It's called me Nerf. I just keep getting thrown everywhere.
But now the rest of us have to get in there somehow.
Well, I think the smarter plan is for me to exit the room and stealthily find a way to the stairwell and see what we can do.
And remove all of that stuff that was blocking the door?
No, but I'd at least be able to see what's on the other end of it and be able to see if there's, access to another stairwell.
Okay.
The other thing that is worth mentioning here is that Al, you are now completely alone, which means it is entirely within your repertoire to be able to open the door and then use your obfuscation.
Oh, there's a plan. Be stealthy. Stay the hell out the way.
Okay, so again, splitting the party because that's what we like to do. So Al,
It's a herd of cats.
Well, one second, before we split up, being in this room, you said that it looked occupied. There were bits of things. Do I see any form of bed sheet, rope, anything that I think that could possibly be used to lower them down?
I mean, we can look in our room too. We don't have to just give up that easily.
So in that room, there's definitely laundry. There's a couple blankets in there, but there's not like an overwhelming, like there's not like a ladder or anything up there. You do find a couple blankets though.
Well, then I can
tie the blankets together.
Well, rip them in shreds long enough, not the shreds, to give us extra length. And then after doing that, I would toss that back up the next window.
Or like tie it to something heavy and toss that heavy thing up.
So here is your that is totally doable. If you're gonna make basically spend the time trying to make a rope real quick, that is definitely doable. One of the things you're definitely gonna have an issue with is there doesn't appear to be anything in the apartment anymore that is heavy enough to anchor it.
Not even a paperweight or a...
Wait, anchor to where? We need to anchor it in our
like to have give it a weight
to throw it up
where it will lead the rest of the string.
Now
how far apart are we? We're one freaking floor.
Yeah, you're a floor apart.
You gotta imagine the physics of trying to toss a blanket.
Okay.
Through a window up a floor.
You could probably lean out. You could probably pretty easily lean out.
This is just a matter of time because you hold the end of it so that if I miss, you don't lose the blanket and you keep throwing and catch it.
I was gonna say the easy way to do this would be basically just hold the end, but that also means you can't move around.
It's maybe I'm not understanding something, but to me this is just do it until somebody catches it.
Yeah, I mean there's
that's fine.
Okay, so she's gonna start knotting the blanket together. What are you two doing while you are upstairs?
I would probably head towards the hall, like keep an ear out, see if I hear anybody coming, see if there's another door close by to look into.
And
tell Idaho this as I'm gonna go check things out in the hall.
Okay, so you're going to basically lean out and look down the hall and take a look around. Idaho, what are you going to do?
So I'm just waiting for Al to finish making the blanket.
Okay.
Or the rope. No, I mean that's what I'm.
Yeah.
She's just spending some time making the rope.
Right. Yeah. She's just.
Well, I mean, while she's making the rope, I'll just, I guess, look around the near vicinity. I mean, who knows what this guy kept in his apartment?
Right, and I'm just watching his back, so I'm like going and like covering the entrance, so nobody catches us off guard if we don't have to.
So this room is really sparse. It looks like there maybe was some stuff in there beforehand, but it looks like almost like it was specifically cleared out to do this to this guy.
Okay.
The one thing that
still alive, right? Like dying, gasping for air.
yes, one thing that is definitely very apparent from where you are standing, or where you are now that you're kind of by the edge looking in. There's no way that when the sun comes up, that this dude is gonna live. Like, this is gonna toast him.
Well, do we care?
Might as well start pulling out spikes.
Depends on who this dude is. Maybe Raul.
No, it's definitely not right.
Raul had a pretty distinctive body.
Okay.
I mean, all right, while we're waiting, I guess since there's nothing else to do, I'll get the face off the wall and put it back on his face, and we'll start pulling spears out and try to put him like in a bathroom or something so the sun won't hit him.
Okay, so he's deep in torpor, and he's also been mostly exsanguinated, not completely, but there's not hardly any blood here. So when you pull the makeshift spears out of his body, and put his face, basically lay it back on place on his, there's not really any response. He might as well be fairly corpse-like. Putting him in the when you basically put him in the bathtub, you know that will keep him marginally safer. But you also definitely know that this dude is.
Yeah, I mean, we have enough on our plate, and if we don't know exactly who this is right off the bat.
Yeah, there's no way to know.
I mean, like putting him in the bathtub and covering him up while he's in torpor is a pretty safe bet to like tuck somebody. Like, I mean, at least from the sun. If he survives that, good for him.
Yeah, exactly. If he survives, great. If he doesn't,
if we can come back for him, awesome. But like, if you can put him in the bathtub and cover him with something, just do that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm gonna close the bathroom door, and we can close the apartment. Well, the apartment door is gone, but. So I mean, I think his chances of survival are slim to none, but whatever.
Okay.
No, actually, I hate to labor it, but the door's wide open.
Right.
There's no door. If someone decides to investigate this apartment tomorrow and they find this guy in the tub, that's a masquerade breach. Maybe we should just leave him out for the sun. Do we want to risk the possibility of somebody just walking into this apartment and finding a vampire lying in the bathtub? Because he ain't going to be healed by tomorrow.
But it wouldn't be our breach.
I know it wouldn't be our breach.
This is obviously Skot.
It's still a breach. We still need to protect.
I know it's not our breach.
I get what you're saying.
Out of game.
No,
I'm not there.
Once Zach said that,
Sorry.
I got what you were going for. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking of protecting the masquerade in general. It's certainly not our responsibility that we did it, whether we failed to act, but
it is all Kindred's responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, if let's say the cops show up for some damn reason, because there's a lot of shit that's going on here today. If the cops show up and they poke their head in and they find a corpse in the tub and they decide to try to do an autopsy or something, they're going to be cutting into a vampire. If we just leave him out for the sun destroys all the evidence.
So you're just hanging out in the apartment while I'm watching. Is Alice done with the rope?
Okay.
Since like we're not going to do anything, we're not going to move him until we can leave him right now. We can leave him right now because unfortunately,
okay, I ain't coming back. We can deal with it now or not at all. I mean, all I got to do is leave him out for the sun.
So we find a dismembered vampire that's got his face and a mark and a hand. Right now, we're trying to get to the 3rd floor. We have access to the 4th. And we know that there are people up top on the 5th floor stomping around.
Yes.
I feel like it is really necessary for us to get the fuck out of there.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, let's not. I think I agree with your backtracking and leaving him, and just waiting for Al to be done with the rope.
Okay, so just to clarify, so the plan now is to, instead of putting him in the bathroom, is to just leave him unspeared and unfaced as he is, where he was. Or are you going to completely backtrack and just not even fuck with it?
No, I'm saying like I'm trying to play it out organically. Like we release the guy, we're thinking, yeah, this is the right thing to do, at least to give him some sort of a advantage, and then it kind of occurs to me, wait a minute, we're just leaving a vampire corpse out to be found, possibly found by mortals, or we can drag him back into the room, which shouldn't be a big deal, and just leave him out so the sun destroys the evidence.
So you're not trying to change the story. Idaho is changing his mind.
Yeah, because like it just
Gotcha.
occurred to me, like, wait a minute, because it did just occur to me, so I figured why not play it out.
Okay, are you again? Okay, going back. So you didn't pull the stakes out of him, or you
Yeah,
did?
yeah. I'd say like while pulling the stakes out and getting the face on him and getting ready to take him into the bathtub, it's kind of like, wait a minute, we're just going to leave a vampire corpse to be possibly found by humans. So maybe the better idea is just to leave him here so the sun destroys the evidence.
Okay.
I mean, as crappy as that is, to me that's the better option.
Yeah, it also doesn't violate your convictions. So
yeah, I mean, this is practicality in my opinion.
So okay, so Michael, while you are waiting at the door, you can hear echoes as if they are, whoever was above you is now starting to come down the stairwell. Starwell. Huh, it's funny. Anyway,
I thought at first.
Meanwhile, you managed to get most of the blanket knotted up. You throw the blanket up to Idaho. And you are able to, he catches it. It's not a big deal. It's pretty easy throw up. So now the question is, Idaho, you've got the blanket at the top. Alice, you've got the blanket at the bottom. What are you going to do here?
I mean, how are we going to anchor this thing up here? Did the damage in the room expose like a support beam or anything?
I mean, not particularly. You do, however, have spears.
Yeah, stuck into the ground.
We do. That just seems such a crappy.
Just punch a hole, like a hole in the drywall under the window. There should be a support beam somewhere close.
There is no window. There's no drywall.
There is a
gaping,
that entire wall. Yeah, that's gone.
MP4 theater. Like
well,
you
in
are
the
a
corner,
diorama.
There should be some sort of a support beam. I mean, the building isn't standing up without support beams.
Yeah, but
no. So if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to basically try to like punch a hole into the wall and anchor it behind a support beam, that's totally plausible. You could totally do that.
Yeah, I think that's better than the spears. I don't trust those spears.
Okay, so you're going to, just to again clarifying, so you're going to punch a hole basically, or pull off some of the drywall to get access to the support beams.
Just a clear area around the support beam and tie it around the support beam.
And then you're going to tie it. Okay, so you do that. Alice, are you doing anything on your end, or are you just basically holding it to keep it inside?
I'm just holding it to keep it inside and steady.
Okay, so now what? Now you've secured the rope. Alice has got it at the bottom. Time to start crawling down.
Yeah, go, Michael. Go. I'll hold it.
I go to the window and climb down.
Okay, so Michael, you clamber down into the room. Despite the fact that this feels like it should be remarkably risky, Idaho's tied his knot fairly well, and with Al supporting at the bottom and helping you through, it turns out to not feel particularly risky.
Wouldn't imagine it to at this point.
So
I'm helping Al, waiting for Idaho to come down.
Idaho,
yeah, I'm down.
So you can hear, it sounds like the rampaging horde, as it were, that is coming down the hall. It doesn't sound like they're running per se, but it definitely sounds like they are on their way. So you're gonna head down as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. When you head down, you get into the room. Now what do you do? So the three of you are now on the 3rd floor.
The first thing I do is
Check the room number.
Throw the rope outside the window.
And cut it or light it on fire.
I don't know if we have
Something to get rid of it.
But I mean, if it's just going to be dangling from the support beam, now it's not even, because the support beam would have been on the edge, right? We kind of went down at a diagonal.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But now it's just hanging straight down. It's not even by the window anymore.
Okay.
So they can't see
That makes
anything.
sense. Good.
They
That's all I want to do is cover our tracks.
It won't be as easy for them to get down with it if we're just trying to give ourselves more time.
Okay, so goes out the window. It's kind of flopping in the breeze. You can hear them directly above. Their voices are, you hear some of them chuckling about the guy who's, in the floor. You hear crunching. A very swift 5 times.
So they're finishing the job, sounds like.
In the roof above you, you can actually see indentions. They've pushed the spear so far through. But you don't see anything. They don't appear to, after a moment, there's no random person attempting to clamber down on the outside that you hear. So for a moment, you have a bit of space to breathe and work in. So what is your next step?
Check the room number.
The room number, you are at 385.
Well, let's figure out the correct direction and head toward where we need to be going.
When you open the door, there are a couple things that become very, very apparent. One, there are injured people in this hallway. There are people who are holding their stomachs and they're bleeding. There are some people who look like they have made makeshift splints for broken arms and broken legs. And in the middle of all of this, you see Threnody running back and forth between people, trying to patch people up, trying to get people stabilized, basically acting as kind of like a field medic, for lack of better terminology.
Wow.
There are, at count, there's probably 20, maybe more.
Are they human or kindred?
Nope, they're kind.
What the hell's going on? All right, well, let's go talk to Threnody.
So
Unless
when
I want to do something else. This is weird.
Yeah, no, I want to investigate this.
Now I'm thinking we really need to get rid of that rope coming down.
So when you walk up to Threnody, she sees you guys, and she kind of does a double take. And then, before she can say anything, the guy who's in front of her dry heaves. Except it's not dry at all. And just a gout of blood just shoots out of his mouth and all over the front of her clothes.
Hey.
He is coughing badly, and you can see all of the muscles in Threnity's neck just constrict. She is desperately trying to keep her shit together here.
Using all the willpower.
Yep. When she is able to put the man down, she looks at the three of you and says, "We need to go to my apartment where we can talk for a minute."
Before we head out, is there a knife or a lighter or something? Because we left a way for the guys on the 4th floor to get down to the 3rd floor.
She blinks for a second. She reaches behind her and pulls out what's got to be a 10-inch blade and hands it to you, and she goes, "I need that back."
Rightio. Oh, quick thought before we play that out.
Okay.
When Al pushed the rope out and it went from the window to hang straight down, was it still close enough to be grabbed by hand at that point from the window?
Well, no, because I'd said that the window, that it's now kind of swaying in the breeze.
Yeah, then I
It'd
guess
just be a measure of just being quick enough to catch it at that point.
yeah, screw it. I guess we're just gonna leave it there then, right? I mean, there's not much we can do about it.
Okay, so then
And-
Just erase that whole.
Think of it this way, though, Idaho. Like, by it being straight down, not coming near this window, they don't really have an idea of which window it went to.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know why that didn't click at first. If it's too far away to even grab it, then who cares?
Okay.
It's kind of hard to be on the same page when you're imagining scrolling down the side of a building.
Yeah. Erase that whole. Yeah, just erase.
Like it's like picture a building. All of us are picturing a different building.
So when you go to Threnodity's apartment, the inside of the apartment is clean, certainly cleaner than anything else you've seen in this entire building so far, but very sparse. There's no TVs. There's not a computer here. There's a very, very like austere table on one side of the room that's got a phone with a charger on it. This is like, in terms of minimalist living, this is just short of a brand new apartment. The only thing that marks it as anything else is that all of the windows are covered in tinfoil. Multiple layers of tinfoil. Tons of tinfoil even. It looks like there was at least 4 to 5 rolls per pane of just going over and over and over and over and over it, to ensure that there's no possible chance of any light coming in. There are ceiling lamps that are illuminating things. She walks in and says, "Well, I tell you to make yourselves at home, but we don't really have a whole lot of time."
Yeah, this is not a social call.
She's like, "I appreciate that you guys are here, but why are you here?"
We asked if you needed backup. You said yes.
She's like, "Well, here is the situation. We're getting hit all over the city." She says, "I don't know what's happened. I don't know what kicked the hornet's nest. I don't know why now.
By whom?
She's like, well, here's the interesting part about that. I've been using this as an alternate haven while my actual haven is being worked on. Because after what happened where we all got put up, she goes, I lost everything. So I've been having to rebuild my entire network, all of my allies, everything from scratch. So it's been me and Raul and maybe 3 others of us trying to put up a strong front and keep these monsters at bay. Well, whatever tipped them off, whatever kicked them, apparently either they'd been watching us and figured out where I was hiding out, she goes, or they were tipped off by somebody about where I was. She goes, I don't know yet. I'm going to find out. And when I do, there's going to be fucking hell to pay if somebody ratted my ass out. She said, somebody tipped him off. And I don't know exactly when it started. She was like, Bud, they literally came through the front door. We heard some gunshots. And then they just started rampaging through the building. Any kind that they came across, they either ate or tried to convert.
Any of those conversions take, do you think?
She's like, I'm damn sure quite a bit of them did. She says, at some point in the middle of all of this, someone else showed up. She says, I don't know who they are. I didn't see anybody. But I heard them fighting with the shovel heads.
Above.
About what?
She says, don't know. But whoever it was dispatching them like no problem.
Were they above? Were they on the 4th floor?
She's, yeah. She goes, we heard a blast. It sounded like some sort of explosion. She's like, she says, all of these people here, she goes, you know, I know it's not like what you do with the club or what I used to do with the bar. She says, but sometimes hiding in plain sight of all of the kind
works really well.
Just as well, particularly among people here who don't have anything. They're poor. They've got a friend who's willing to help them out, who makes sure that they get treated right by the management around here, as I'm sure you're well aware that a building looking like this doesn't get great fucking tenant policies. She says, doing a little bit of a Robin Hood act, keeping the, you know, peace around here, keeping them safe, tends to garner a whole lot of goodwill. She's like, this has not done a whole lot to engender goodwill. She's like, these assholes have basically rampaged through my home and are slaughtering everybody. So I got together with everybody else on this floor. We blockaded both of the stairwells. She was like, the only thing that we haven't been able to blockade has been the elevator shaft. Though that hasn't been a problem since they decided to drop the fucking elevator.
Okay.
She said, but they could easily clamber down that if they really wanted to. But they haven't. I think because they also know that that'd leave them while they're doing that as sitting ducks.
So is it just you here for people like us?
You and Romano, right?
She doesn't know where Romano is.
No, she goes, no, it's just me.
And it's not Raul.
Sorry.
Raul, yeah. Sorry, Raul, yeah.
She goes, Raul's been missing. Raul, when all of this started, he went out there and decided to pick a fight with them and try to hold them off. He's like, yeah. She said, I don't know if he's further up and he's still fighting, or if he's been caught, or even if he's still in the building.
Well, we saw 3 people spying on the building when we made our way in here.
And shovel heads just lining the roof.
She is. I'm not really sure what the best option here is. She's like, they haven't started trying to dig through the rubble. I'm sure because they know that as fast as they could do that, they'd be opening themselves up to getting smacked as soon as they got through some of it. Said they haven't tried coming down the outside, which has been kind of surprising.
That was our ticket in.
She goes, well, then we know they can do it. So the question here is
why?
Well, the why is because I'm here, because they, for whatever reason, whatever kicked the hornet's nest, they decided tonight was the night to kick back.
Okay, so what weapons do we have?
She holds out she pulls the knife and then puts the knife away, and she pulls out a revolver. It is not a small weapon. It is pretty and chrome and
dirty.
And it's a revolver. It's not.
I'm just remembering the shot from the movie.
And definitely not a peacemaker, because goddamn.
Okay.
But she goes, I've got a full 6 shots on this, and I've got another 6 shots in my pocket. She says, but beyond that, she goes, nothing. And this entire floor was mostly, single mothers or elderly people or students. So, because that's all they could afford around here.
Yeah.
So
They need a Vic.
I'm going to be calling Vic, being like, "What are you doing?"
So, a Vic can't leave, but they need a Vic. I'm just saying they need a Vic. But
you stayed behind to protect them, but now we found out that we're basically in a locked scenario, like we're at the Alamo right now, just waiting for the inevitable. That sounds a little more important than protecting the apartment.
If I can get the this is kind of at it, kind of going ahead here because I don't want to, but if I can get the Tremors to say that they can get up a protection against the vampire that was in here, then I might feel safe enough to leave for a little bit. But if they can't get that up quickly, I'm kind of expecting on that vampire to just show up at any time. He didn't. I don't know.
Or send the Tremere to help us.
So Knox, I would like to, in this moment, ask Threnody, if the 2 stairs in the front and the back are the only other way. She said it's the thing and that.
So, she says, we've blocked off both of the stairwells. She says, and the elevator is inoperable. She says, the other thing, and I'm not sure what this means, although I have my theories. She says, there have been multiple calls to 911. She says, it's been hours. No one has responded.
How the hell?
I told y'all.
You told us what?
That there had to be vamps in the system. Makes sense. If there are vamps that are working within the police, then why else would no one show up? That they were covering for the whole thing.
blocking the entirety of 911 and having vamps in the system, if that's even possible, sounds like a cam thing, not a Sabat thing, at least to me.
She didn't say what side it was on. She was just saying that it was happening.
I know. And that sounds like the cam and the Sabat working together.
Mm-hmm.
Which would suck for us. But anyway, now we're just again thinking.
But they don't have goals on common ground.
Well, that's just Alice being
Like
Alice in the moment. Threnody has said this about the cops, and I'm going off on one of my conspiracies. So from there,
what is there a basement to this place?
She says, I'm sure there is, but I mean, how are we going to get down there?
Well, I mean, if we can get to the door, we just leave, right?
It's not only you now. There's 4 kindred that can protect these people on the way out. Maybe we can just shift everybody to a new location since this is completely compromised.
She's like, I'm not against the idea, but how are we going to get them out?
Do we have the hearse?
Nope. Hearse was taken. Hearse with was taken back to.
Oh yeah.
About what time is it?
It's probably about 3 a.m.
So if we can hold out a few more hours, the sun's going to come up. Then the Sabat will leave. And we have allies that can move around during the day.
Yeah.
And humans that are hurt can get out and go to the hospital. So if nothing else, we can try to hold out until dawn. If that's our best option.
She's like, so that gives them an answer, but that doesn't necessarily give us an answer. Who knows if they don't just hole up wherever they are here.
They could. But, us just opening a hole in the wall and bugging out, the reason we're not doing that is because we have humans here that that we're caring about. We remove the humans from the equation, that gives us a lot more options on what we can do.
She says, is there...
Ow.
She says, is there any other chance that we could get out of here without just trying to hold our breath and hope that they don't decide to start tunneling through the fucking ceiling?
There's all kind of things we could try.
She's like, well, I've been running and playing nursemaid for several hours now, so if you've got better options, if you've got any ideas, I am more than open to hearing them.
It's the back stairwell, the fire escape as well, or is there one of those running down the side of the building?
She goes, the last time that I checked the fire escape, it was not in a condition where, let me put it this way, I wouldn't drop a person off of that.
Well, when we came up here, we came through the front door and we got all the way to the 3rd floor.
Fourth.
And third, and we found your blockade.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And we encountered no one between the front door and the 3rd floor. So, I mean, we could just remove the blockade and try to get out. That's one option. Otherwise, if we put this blockade up here to keep these guys out, then we wait till the sun comes up.
She says, maybe we need to shift the blockade.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it would be beneficial if 911 had responded? Do you think that would run off the Sabat?
She says, I don't know. She goes, I guess it would depend. If we're talking about an ambulance, no, they'd slaughter them all to the man. She goes, if it was the cops or SWAT, she goes, I don't know. People showing up with shotguns tends to make our kind tend to vanish pretty quick.
But then that would also be bad for us. So I don't know if that's a good idea.
I think the idea of shifting the blockade is pretty good. The main thing will be making sure that everyone is ready to fucking bolt down those stairs.
Yep.
So the weakest of the weak, we can each take one and help through, and just make sure everyone knows as soon as this is Miss Budge, get the fuck out the front door. Just go.
So
2 vamps in the front, 2 in the back.
So Trinity, do you have a vehicle down there waiting for you?
She goes, I have no idea what's waiting for me downstairs.
Oh.
She goes, I mean, I drive a Camaro, so the chances that we're gonna move these people in that's almost none.
Yeah, we need more help. We gotta call Vic and somehow convince them that we're more important than the people back at the apartment.
Do we have any buses or vans at Tento's right now?
You mean where the cops are?
Ah, shit.
Yep.
It's been a long night, guys.
The only thing we had at 10 Toes was a busted up cop car.
It's been a really long night, guys.
So to me, it seems like the way we're getting out of this, because even now I'm thinking to remove the barricade and run out's a bad idea because they're just going to pick us off. We can't all fit in our car. We either need outside help or we have to wait till the sun comes up. That's it.
Agreed. 110%.
So, Baron, I would recommend calling Vic and ordering him to come.
As I said at the beginning, I'm texting Vic and saying, "What the fuck are you doing right now?"
Okay, we're gonna.
This is gonna work great,
Vic. So, guy's dove over. He's disappeared. You said you were going to try to collect the blood.
I was going to get the Tremere. Yeah, tell the Tremere I have blood and see what method they have to best collect it up and.
So Marie comes down. Marie comes down with you, with a satchel on her waist. When she gets down to the blood, I'm going to assume that you're going to have run up there, and when you told her that there's blood, you're going to then have told them the entire story about what's going on.
Yes, yeah. This is blood of an attacker. We need to use the blood to put wards up as quick as possible. You know, this is.
So Marie heads downstairs, and she is scooping up this blood. And as she is scooping up this blood, she smells it, and she dabs some on her finger, and she licks her finger. There's no emotional response on her face to this. But she turns to you, Vic, and she says, whoever this kindred is quite old.
It's quite powerful. It gave me quite the contest, I'll tell you that much.
She says, well, I can tell you 2 other things as well. There is magic in their blood. There is blood sorcery here at work. To what end, I don't know, but I can taste it. She says, 2, whoever this is very sick.
A sick kindred?
Sick in what way?
She says, this blood is diseased. She goes, I can taste 2, possibly 3 separate strains of something that is probably reasonably lethal for people.
Carrier. Shit.
Can it still be used to make a ward to protect against them?
She goes, there's some. I can try. She goes, but this is going to take me a moment. This is very, very powerful blood. She's like, but I do thank you for giving this to us. We will do what we can. Well, she is scraping this up, and she's not even attempting to like she's scraping it up, and when she can't get all of it up off of the floor, she reaches into her bag and literally pulls out a chisel and starts
Nice.
knocking out the floor, knocking out the part of the floor.
Here, she
Wood
just get a
stain.
squeegee. You know,
The
just gotta-
stain, the wood that has stain that absorbed any
He's
of
gonna
it.
be so pissed. He's gonna have to re-cement. He's gonna be so pissed.
Well, Maria's doing this. You get, Vic, a call. It is from an unknown number.
I'll answer.
Yeah, we need an extended car warranty. I hope that's what they're selling.
Could have added that to the guy in the fucking room. When you pick up the phone and you answer, Eric says, "Hey, I'm outside."
Oh,
Okay. I'll come down and meet him.
When you come down, he is standing on the curb in he is dressed up, latex pants, latex shirt, but behind him, he's carrying like one of those coolers. They're like styrofoam coolers.
Mm-hmm.
Behind him, there is one of those Ram vans. They're often used for moving stuff around. It is painted neon green.
Of course.
With the logo for Guilt in gold on the side.
Right.
so subtle. So subtle.
Always.
Guilt catering.
So when you come out, he's like, somebody came back from a run with a van. Sabine needed them for something else, so I was able to grab this and bring this out to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now I gotta steal your van.
I don't have a reason to right now. Right now,
Just
Yeah, Vic
yet.
doesn't know. Vic doesn't know.
So he hands you the container,
That text message hits.
and while this is going on, you get the text message from Michael about needing help. So, what are you gonna do, Vic?
I text back and say I don't have a vehicle.
Has Horatio not gotten back to the apartment yet?
No.
Why not? How long does it take him to drive back?
Yeah, right. Since he was going straight there with the body.
That's why I asked at the beginning of the session if we had another vehicle besides the Charger or the hearse, and the answer was no.
Okay.
So,
Knock.
At some point, we had like an Escalade or something.
Has he arrived back at the apartments yet?
No.
What the fuck?
I'm saying I don't have a way to get to you. Just defended from an attack here. Still trying to clean things up. From another attack here.
We're screwed, guys. So the chronicle comes to an end on a sour note, apparently.
Turn around, steal Eric's van. But I mean, you can be nice and ask him for a ride, but
I get that too, but I'm still kind of hesitant to leave everybody here unprotected because, like, we've already had one attack here tonight. You guys don't, and in character, you guys don't know about that.
Right.
So you guys are thinking that your situation is like, you know, the worst, but we've still had another attack at home. You
That's
know, that
why
you
the
guys
text
don't know
was,
about it.
"What the fuck are you doing right now?"
Yeah, exactly. I'm letting you guys know. cleaning up from yet another attack here.
Okay, currently under attack at Threnodies.
Call him. What the hell was all the texting?
Oh yeah,
This is serious.
Sorry, I'm an elder millennial. We don't like calls.
I don't like calls either, but when it's like serious shit, I pick up the damn phone.
So I'm calling Vic. I'm just calling Vic.
Okay, so you call Vic. Vic, you're in the middle of receiving this package from Eric. Do you pick up for Michael?
Yeah, I'll pick up for Michael.
Okay, so Eric
I always pick up for Michael.
Eric is waiting while you pick up the phone.
I'm holding one ear, signing for the package if I need to.
Doesn't take long to write X.
X. X.
So.
X.
X squiggle.
So
up?
What?
Oh, what are you doing right now? We are at Threnodies. She got caught out and under attack. It's just her, us, and a whole bunch of kind.
Securing a blood shipment for Ruby, who's in bad shape. Just defended off yet another attack from an elder vampire, I'm being told from the Tremors, who are now trying to put up a blood ward, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Ooh, what do you need?
We it's a orchestrated attack across town. We have, I would say, about 180, 50 kind.
No, there's probably a total of probably like 20 to 25 grand total
of the Sabbat.
No, of the kind. She's
people on the floor.
Yeah, he's asking about the humans.
I'm asking about humans. Like, how many people?
Let's just eat some of them just to make it easier to transport.
Well,
it's in my nose. Fuck the beers in my nose.
Oh, you got him.
Oh, that hurts.
I have one guilt van here now. Do you want me to see if I can send him off to your location and still put it on your tab?
Where the fuck is Harvey?
It's a van. It's not going to carry 25, but I can get some people out in it. That's definitely not going to fit 25.
Is this call on speakerphone?
It can be.
Say, Harvey has not returned with the hearse?
No, I haven't seen Harvey. I don't know. What is he returning with?
The car and the remains of the wall.
Yeah.
And another body for me to take care of. God damn it. Okay, great.
I'm stepping to the side and I'm calling Harvey.
It goes straight to voicemail.
Shit. If we lost the hearse, I'll be pissed off. I could care less about Harvey.
Where's Moira?
Moira should be inside the apartment. Last I checked, she was in there. I'm downstairs right now taking a shipment. I will check on her as soon as I'm back inside.
We need to get our hands on our bus or a van, or we're going to need to figure out a way to hold off a shit ton of Sabbat until the morning. We're stuck in the Alamo and we need help. I'm going to call Moira. Fucking sign off and call me back. Quick.
All right. And then I'll finish blood transaction and I'll see if I can go upstairs and meet Moira and try and get things sorted out that way.
Okay, so Vic, you're basically just going to sign off on this, take the blood from him, and head back inside.
Yeah, I offered to send the van, but they hung up on me, so I don't know what else to do at this point.
I don't either. We're fucked.
So
every option we come up with, we get a door slammed in our face. So I don't know what we're gonna do. It's okay. I'm the new Baron. I get it.
It was his plan all along. Oh, I see.
I'm behind it all.
You're a Spectre. Okay, now I understand.
So, Vic, you take the blood inside and hand it off to those in need, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Ruby, I think, was the one that was most in need from what Moira was the one that told me that, I think. So
yes. So back down at Trinity's Haven. What are you guys going to do?
Die?
We have about 20 people. We have Threnody. We have them upstairs waiting.
I thought you were calling Mora.
I am calling Moira. I'm also thinking out loud, just so I can maybe see if I can formulate a different plan than anything that we have. So I was just, one second.
We spent a lot of time coming up with ideas, and none of them have been viable. Frankly, I'm getting kind of tired of trying to guess of possible avenues to take, and none of them being available to us.
I was just trying to go over our avenues in my head, see if there was anything that I missed. But, yeah, I'm gonna call Moira and be like, I'm gonna actually let me go ahead and call Moira.
So when you call Moira, she picks up immediately, and she's like, "All right, what's going on?"
I'm like, all right, Threnity's backup is getting hit. The last of everybody alive, other than Shovelheads, is hunkered down on the 3rd floor. We managed to get to them, but for the moment, that's where we're stuck. We have about 20 kind and 4 vamps to get the fuck out before it seems like these spot motherfuckers are either gonna do something, because it's this weird kind of waiting game going on here. Do you have any leads on a bus or a van or a party thing or anything?
She's like, I mean, I'm sure we could get something sent down there. She's like, but it's going to be a little bit.
What's a little bit?
She's like, probably not in time.
Fuck.
So here is the better question. You say that it is 4 of you. It's you and Idaho and Al and Threnody, right?
Mm-hmm.
She says, okay, instead of trying to see this as there's you 4 need to defend all of these kind that you're talking about, she says, why don't instead you figure out some way to secure the kind, and then you guys go on the move.
Sabat's turning kind. Whoever we leave behind, they're going to try and turn.
She says, then why don't you jump up and down and wave your arms and say, I'm the bloody fucking Baron of Philadelphia, come get me.
Might as well. Well, thanks, Moira. I'll call you right back.
She goes, good luck.
Whew. Here we go.
So,
how far away are from dawn? At this point?
So it's about 3:30, we'll say. So you've probably got, say, 2.5, 3 hours before the first rays of sunlight start to crack.
Do we have do we know where Sunny is right now?
Last time we talked to her, she was in the Nosferatu place, being surrounded by people that she said other people are listening. So
okay. Shit. All right. Well then.
She said she would call back as soon as she could because she was definitely interested in the information we had, but we haven't heard back from her yet.
We've basically been cut off from all our allies, and it seems like everything we come up with as an avenue to try to use to get out of this gets shut down in our face. So.
I guess all that's left is to jump up and down and say I'm the Baron of bloody Philadelphia and come and fucking get me.
I'm not even sure what that means. I mean,
bring it, motherfucker.
So
that's what Moira said.
Moira was actually suggesting that we just fight the shovelheads, that we just fight the Sabbat.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
well, that it seemed like an insinuation to me about leading them away.
I would, yeah, that's Al is reading that correctly.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's more like get out front and woohoo, here I am, come
get
back
in your car and go, I'm the Baron, and get in your car and fucking drive away, and then see how many of them chase you and leave them safe.
All right, I guess that's the best way. And I guess Idaho and Al should stay behind and see if they can get anybody with them. If I can chase them away. If I can lead them away, let's see what.
First
like,
Ruby, now you. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
yeah.
How are you going to go about doing this?
Well, I could either do. Let me see. What do I have on my sheet character? I just had you up. There you are. No, you aren't. There you are.
It will never stop being weird to me when you guys manipulate your character sheets and stuff on my screen over here starts to move.
Ooh. Okay, celerity is my blink and presence is my dread gaze.
Yes. So you've got for your celerity, you've got blink. Presence, you've got dread gaze. So yes.
Those are like my strongest aspects.
Now remember, celerity works best on straightaways with no obstacles.
Yeah.
Alan, what are you doing during all of this?
Standing around my finger up my nose. Like we took the phone call and Michael just basically said, "You two stay here. I'm going out." So unless
I haven't moved yet, I'm just still kind of like wrapping my brain around everything right now.
I mean, unless I'm supposed to be like rendering aid to some of these humans, I don't really see what I got going on here.
While you guys are attempting to come up with a plan, Trinity leaves you in her apartment and goes out and continues to render aid to the kind.
Yeah, I guess I'll go assist her.
So, Al and Trinity are working on the kind. Idaho, what are you doing?
I guess the same.
Okay, so you guys are out there helping with the kind.
Hey, Idaho, how are you on like melee and brawl or like being able?
I'm a sucky fighter.
You're a sucky fighter.
You remember when he tried to fight last time? He got his arm broken.
Now I do.
I've got 1 in brawl, 2 in firearms, 2 in melee.
And what are your disciplines?
2 in streetwise.
Disciplines for both of you guys? Can I pull that up?
Presence and animal stuff.
Sense the unseen, premonition, share senses, cloud memory, dementation, mesmerize.
Your strongest ones are what?
Silence of death and unseen passage.
How about you, Idaho?
Animalism.
What is
out of the two of us, I
something
am the
death?
better fighter.
All right. Well then, Al, do you want to go upstairs and see if we can cause a distraction so Serenity and Idaho can see if they can get everybody out?
Fuck it.
Or do you guys want to go see if we can make it big enough of a distraction so everybody can head towards our fucking region?
On foot?
No, we just gotta make it to the car.
So we're leaving the humans behind?
No, I thought we were playing diversion for the Exodus. So we have no way of getting the people out. We have no way of getting the people away from the building. But fighting the Sabbat wouldn't be enough of a distraction to keep them from like being able to like get to like far enough away, public transportation. Never mind.
That's why I keep feeling like we're screwed. I mean, we've been left with no vehicles or one vehicle only. All our allies are isolated for one reason or another. I mean, I just feel like we're fucked.
Okay, what is...
Or we just abandon the humans and get out.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, why is Threnody... I mean, this is the way Alice thinks. Why does Threnody give two fucks about these humans?
That isn't entirely what's going on, though. Because Moira basically said to Michael, why are you worried about the humans? Why don't you guys just get out? And Michael said, and leave these behind to be turned into shovelheads. So Threnody and Michael seem to be concerned about leaving the humans behind.
But if they're so direly wounded that they are hard to move and can't get out on their own, like they're seriously gonna like fuck these people up, leave them here to bleed out, and then come back later?
I don't know.
Like I don't get the...
I don't either.
It just seems wiser for us that we are the vamps to like hold ground and defend them until dawn, where some of our ghouls can come and escort, you know, the non-nocturnal, allergic to the sun individuals out of the fucking building.
Also, this attack was meant to kill Threnody, not to kill the people that live here.
Right.
So
remember, in the beginning there was a lot of similarities between the night of your embrace and the large embrace as it was this night.
This is a attack by the Sabbat on us, not on humans.
That's why I question them, like
We don't know
actively
that.
turning all these people. If they're just coming after us, they wouldn't turn others out of revenge. Like that.
Oh, that's what the Sabbat
Not
did.
out of revenge, just out of... Never mind. I'm not there.
It's like a constant thing. Like they're always turning people. They're trying to break the Masquerade. They're trying to bring about the second coming of Cain.
So, something worth mentioning, just kind of an out of discussion, meta discussion here. The main reason why they are so ravenous about doing mass embraces and stuff like that is because there's no expectation that any of these shovelheads are literally going to make it to tomorrow. They're fully doing these mass embraces because if two of them make it to tomorrow, they hit jackpot. They're fully expecting for all of these idiots to die within the next 24 to 48 hours. It takes somebody really special within the Sabbat to go the distance.
Like Skot, who we intercepted.
Yeah, well, I wasn't turned by a Sabbat anyway. I just got turned on the night when something like this was happening.
That's
I
not
mean, I
true.
assume
That's not true.
it's not.
I thought you were being turned by the Sabbat, and we had jumped in and rescued you.
We claimed you
That
when you
vampire-
should have been. Just because you were turned by a different clan does not mean that the clan isn't also part Sabbat.
Yeah, you were.
Just like Anarchs have all kinds and Cam have all kinds, Sabbat have all kinds.
So that's why last week when we were saying all the shovel heads on the roofs was very similar to the night you were turned, because that was very similar. It was a night you were turned on one of those nights.
I get it. I understand that part.
Yeah.
I understand. So I would imagine the Sabbat must be running around with a bunch of blood bags or something. Otherwise, they would have to reach the limit of how many people they could turn. So, I mean,
How so? I'm so sorry. I'm lost.
because don't we use our own blood to turn somebody into a vampire?
Well, you also have to exsanguinate the person who's being turned.
Yeah, you exsanguinate them and then you fill them with vampire blood. There's only so much vampire blood, unless you're running around like with big vats full of vampire blood. Right? When you turn somebody into a vampire, you have to fill them up with vampire blood.
Well, you don't have to fill them up with vampire blood, and also they're supplying the blood. Like if you drink it, then you put it back into them.
It's
Like you're the dialysis machine.
You put their own blood back
Like,
in.
yeah, you're basically the dialysis machine.
Yeah, so
Only
if
you vamp it up instead of give it iron.
Yeah, so if you fill yourself with blood
Or oxygen.
or drink them dry. So even if you're at a 0 hunger or a 1 hunger, or if you're at 4 hunger, 5, you just kill them. So you drink. So just kind of a mechanics thing here. So you drink somebody all the way down, basically almost to the point of death, which means that you're very full of blood, unless of course they're like bled out. But whatever, fuck it. So you drink all of their blood. Now you've got all of their blood. So when you then feed that blood back to them, when you cut your wrist, that's basically their blood being filtered through your body.
Yeah, but mechanically, are you telling me, because we have a maximum blood that we can carry in our body, right? Like I can only, even if I drink somebody dry, right? I can get.
Yeah, you can't ever get past 0.
Right. So let's say I were to try to turn somebody, would that not cause my hunger to grow?
So
Just that one.
So if you churn somebody, okay, so we'll say you drain them completely. So we'll say that puts you at basically at a 1.
Okay.
And then you put the blood back inside of them, then your hunger does go up. Your hunger will increase from giving them that blood. But if you go to then another person,
so you're just basically repeating the same process over and over. So that's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll always end up at net 0 because it's like, I'll give you $5.
I'll train to give you
There will be
train to give you 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Give you 1.
Exactly. Drink 2, give 1. Drink 2, give 1. Drink 2, give 1.
They'll end up hungry. They won't end up at a net 0.
No, there will be an increase in hunger.
There's also enough of them.
Yeah, but that is the other part about it.
There's a huge amount of shovel heads up top that we know of. From what we saw lining the roof and what we heard stomping around, it sounds like there's a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Easily able to all turn 20 people.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that. I'm just trying to think, what is the limitation of such a thing? And I guess there isn't really much of one.
Usually the biggest limitation when it comes to churning is not the functional limitations of it.
But if it takes.
Okay, I got an idea. Far-fetched, but if there's a way to get me out the window, whether there's a dumpster, some boxes, something I can land on, why don't I just go and steal a car? Steal a van?
Get it.
There's got to be something on this block or within a couple blocks that would work.
Did you say we have like 24 humans out there?
There's probably about 20 to 25 people there.
I mean, we can also steal a school bus.
Yeah, it would need to be a bus. I mean,
Fuck it. There would have to be something within a 2 to 3 block radius, something within a quick walking distance that I can hotwire and
Look,
steal.
considering it's Philly, I really can see a box truck being around.
Yeah,
Okay.
U-Haul, something. We just got to find a way to get me to the ground.
So, Alice, you are going to head back to that one apartment and head out the window.
Does it have to be that apartment, or can it be anyone that's?
I mean, you can
Anywhere
wherever
that
you.
there's safely something for me to land on, unless I can stick 3 floors. Superhero pose.
You're a vampire. You've done it before, actually.
Hmm?
I remember
It's
2
not
stories. I don't remember 3 stories.
It's not improbable for you to be able to jump off of a building, and even if you hurt yourself, the relative damage will be minimal and reasonably
Yeah,
easy for you to
fuck
heal.
it. I'll chuck out the window and run it.
Okay, so where are you going to drop from? Are you going to go like literally right out there on the front of the thing, or are you going to try to go out the side?
I want to go out on a wall that is not where they are facing out through the busted part of the.
Can,
Like,
can
not
I ask
that
you
side.
a mechanics question really quick
Sure.
before we do this? Are you going to ask her to roll larceny to jack a car?
Once she gets to it, probably.
Possibly, yes.
The person that has 0 in larceny.
What about
right?
technology? Would it fall also under tech?
Oh.
If
Depends on
she's
the car?
so here's kind of where this is one of those interesting questions. If you're breaking into a car, does that qualify as larceny? Sure. If you're trying to hotwire a car, does that count as larceny? Yes, but you could probably also say it's a technology question.
I just wanted to make sure if we're going to try this,
Right, that one of us had the.
to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also persuasion. You don't necessarily. There are other ways to steal a thing.
Yeah, and I've got 3 in that. So, hey, give me a car.
I'm cute. Give me everything you own.
Yeah. So definitely not down into the alley where we were doing the window trick. Probably another
You can join
side
Metro
of the
Bus.
building. So I'm trying not to be seen.
Okay, so you head to the back of the apartments. So you're literally on the other side.
Okay.
When you go into, there's some of these apartments are just open, like they haven't even bothered to close their door. So when you go and you look out the back, it is a straight sheer drop down. There's some trash bags, there's some stuff down there, but it doesn't look like it's.
At this point, Alice does not give a fuck. She's just tired of waiting around and is like, fuck it.
So, when you jump,
The last words of all the best decisions.
Exactly.
So.
That or hold my beer, but.
Here goes nothing.
I don't drink beer anymore.
Yeah. Watch this, guys.
Look what I can do.
This is going to be.
Boy.
This is going to be a stamina and a composure roll. Normally we don't do 2 attributes at the same time, but this is going to be whether or not you manage to basically hold your shit together long enough to stick the landing.
Yeah. Oh, that would be what?
So 2 and 2.
I have not done well so far tonight, y'all.
To be honest, none of us have had the greatest rolls, except for Vic.
Why did that not go through?
Or Vic had some great rolls and Knox countered him or matched him.
I don't think I had great rolls.
Hold on, I'm not sure if like
Did the
my chat's not going through.
is it dead? Fuck me. Okay, one second.
Is it 2 and 2?
It's the API is dead.
Yeah.
One second. Let me fix it.
Yeah, it's down for me too.
Possible infinite loop detected.
Divided by 0.
Yeah, right.
When time becomes a loop. When time becomes a loop. When time becomes a loop. When time becomes a loop.
2 and 2.
Hi, where did you come from? I didn't even realize you were in here.
I think I might have snapped an ankle.
Okay.
I mean, you got 3 out of 4.
So, for a single moment, there is a little bit of almost human fear. But as you drop like a rocket on the outside of the building and you land, there is almost a cat-like grace to your landing. So, you are now on the backside of the apartment building. What are you gonna do?
Closest road that I can get to without exposing myself to the roof or the upper windows. I'm gonna duck around and just get to the sidewalk and book it.
Okay, so that's a pretty straight shot for you. It's actually away from the. So you drop down. There is an alley not too far from you heading out the back. So it's not hard for you to then hook into that alley and go out. So you're now basically a block over from Threnodies.
Good. And I'm just looking for anything U-Haul. I mean, anything that bus, whatever.
So you have there's a
Guy
couple
sleeping in the semi.
Yeah.
So there are a couple options for you here. There is a kind of one of an old school moving truck, one of those kind of boxy moving trucks that is parked about 2 blocks down. There is a
box truck,
SEPTA bus that is about to pull up to a bus stop.
That's pretty public, though.
There is also a small van that's almost directly in front of you.
I'll go for the box truck.
Okay, so running down the street to the box truck. There's nobody inside of it. So roll your dex and technology. Do you want to rouse the blood? Have you already roused the blood tonight?
Mm-hmm.
And you increased your dexterity, right? Was that your dexterity that you increased? I wish there was a way to temporarily. It should be to click.
I thought I roused the blood tonight. Maybe she did too.
I think pretty sure at this point almost everybody has.
That's why I was like.
Okay.
I don't think. Oh no, I did in the beginning of the evening last week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you raised your dex. So it's gonna be 3 and 2. Yeah, it'll be 3 and 2.
Oh,
So
nice.
this is not a.
It's getting better.
So this is not.
The holes are coming back.
You run up to the side.
Easy there, Dallas.
Grab onto it, and you pull open on the handle once, and you can see the inside of it. It's a completely mechanical. It's not like one of the new ones, the electronic ones. It's one of the old push one. You push the metal thing down. So when you jiggle it a little bit, you immediately see exactly how it works, and it doesn't take you more than about 20 seconds to fish out a solution and get the door open. When you get the door open, you go through everything that's around you. The inside of the cab is reasonably clean. There's smells kind of faintly of perfume. You think maybe this was somebody who was actually using this to move some stuff recently. So when you reach up and you hit the sunblocker, and the keys just fall right out into your lap, you can't help but think to yourself that this is A, quite fortuitous, and B, that the person who's driving this really
Dumb
deserves to
as
have
fuck.
their shit stolen.
Yep.
So, Al, what are you gonna do now?
I call Michael, and as soon as he answers, I'm like, I got us a truck. I'm like 2.5 blocks away.
I
Get
asked
your people
Threnody
down to the door.
I asked Threnody if it's better for Al to pull in through the back, to back into the back or the front.
She's like, if you guys didn't encounter any resistance at the front door, then we should be going out the front door.
All right. Put the ass right into the front door.
Got it.
We need to start getting everybody ready to move, because once Alice gets here and that back of that box truck pops open, we have a small window to get you and all of your neighbors out of this building.
So, Threnody starts.
Freaking love you, Alice.
Starts to move debris out of the way. Idaho, what are you doing?
I'll help move debris out of the way.
Okay. Michael, what are you doing?
Basically, just trying to help get everybody ready to go. Moving from kind to kind, I guess. Making sure that everybody's like wrapped and ready.
Okay. So you have, out of the, we'll say 22 that are there, most of them are at least ambulatory. Most of them can at least walk. There are, however, we'll say 4 that are in bad shape. That moving them is probably going to be a chore.
How bad of a shape?
You've got at least one person who suffered a gut wound, one person who has a broken leg, one guy is in his 90s with oxygen, and one woman is convalescing.
Hey, Ruby and Haddonchild still need blood. I say Haddonchild because I still don't mix them up, so I'm just splitting the names now. So,
Fairchild Haddonfield, very well done. I see what you did there. You said the woman is convulsing, so basically she's in an epileptic seizure, or she is like
Convalescing.
Convalescing. Yeah, she's convalescing.
All right. Shit. Okay. How far gone is the guy with the gut wound? Who's most far gone?
So the from best to worst, we'll go down the greatest hits here. The dude with the broken leg is fine, other than the broken leg. It's not a compound fracture or anything like that. It's just broken. The woman who is convalescing, just eyeballing her, it doesn't look like there's anything particularly wrong with her. You're not really sure what's going on. The dude with the gut wound is starting to turn very pale. And of course, the 90-year-old with the oxygen is 90 years old with oxygen.
Any wheelchairs?
You probably could source one, but you're also going downstairs.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, there's somebody who's convalescing. They have no way of getting around like in their normal day-to-day. There's no wheelchair, no nothing.
There's not one near them.
Fireman's carry.
So basically, it's just like somebody who's just like recovering from a long injury.
So, Idaho, you and Threnody make quick work of the debris, pushing the debris. So what Threnody basically does is she basically moves what she can out of the way, and then what is large enough, she basically shoves so it goes up against the stairs, up into the stairs going from the second floor down.
Right.
Trying to basically make another obstruction.
Yeah. So
Smart.
Basically, we've got to do some triage as much as it sucks because we don't have even if we all carry somebody, we're still short one. And if we're all carrying, there's nothing we can do to defend ourselves.
Right. So I'm going to try and find a splint for broken leg dude.
Okay.
And see if I can splint him up and carry convalescing, broken leg, and 80-year-old man towards the door.
Okay, so the finding a splint is not difficult. There's tons of debris everywhere. You can make a makeshift splint out of almost anything. The 90-year-old dude, he's ambulatory. He can walk. He's just very slow.
Okay, that's fine. Just head towards the door, sir.
Yeah, he's more than willing to get the fuck. The convalescing woman, when you pick her up, she gasps in pain. She is whatever is wrong with her. It is obviously causing her a lot of pain.
Ma'am, do you have a mobility device, a mobility aid?
She's like, no, my wheelchair got fucked up.
What are you suffering with? Where hurts?
She points down and she has a scar it's not a scar, it's stitched up, running basically from the side of her belly button over to the side. She's like, I just got back from the hospital from having my appendix out.
Well, I'm so sorry. This is I'm going to be as gentle as possible, but it's going to hurt to move you.
She's like, I guess we'll do what we got to do.
So as gently and as swiftly as possible, I move her from the back towards the front so we can have everybody ready to go. Have I managed to get all three of them to the front?
Okay. So what are you going to do about the guy with the gut wound?
I am going to fix my hunger and put him out of his misery. All quietly,
Are you going to tell Threnody you're doing this, or are you just going to kind of discreetly move him off?
Might be her favorite. I don't want to piss her off. I'm going to be like, there's no hope for the guy with the gut wound. I'm going to quietly take out 2 birds, 1 stone.
She looks at you, and there's a flash across her face, and she doesn't give any response, and she just turns back to continuing to work.
So he is important to her.
So what are you going to do, Mr. Starwell? I will give you this particular detail. The pallor of this dude's skin, and the way that he looks. Either way, there's only one way this goes, unless you choose to intercede and turn him yourself.
Yeah, one way or the other.
But I was gonna say, but at this point, you've seen this before. You know this pallor of skin. You know the way this looks. You know how his heart sounds. This dude is not long for it.
So yeah, I'm just going to quickly. I'm going to act like I'm taking his pulse, but I'm going to see if I can, as discreetly as possible, drink.
Do you take him? I'm guessing you're going to take him out of the hallway where there's 20 people watching.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm going to.
Or not bring him to the hallway where there's 20 people. Leave him back.
Well, no, that's where we found Threnody in the hallway. Threnody was in the hallway doing triage and everything.
I just knew you were moving everyone
else
out to the front door, so I just thought maybe you'd
yeah,
leave
that's
him
why I
behind.
was like bringing everybody towards the front to be like prep and like get ready to go. And in the commotion, I was thinking there was a commotion going on since everybody's getting ready to move. But I guess I could
It's
just
hard to hide it.
I will just move him to the next room.
Okay. So, and you're going to drink him down?
Yes.
So, when you sink your fangs into him, there is a moment of shock, and then the ecstasy sets in.
Shock?
But even as you drink, the memories start to waft over you. Memories of running track and field in NYU. Memories of being a firefighter. Memories of getting in the way of someone who there's no way they should have been that fast or strong. And in their last moments as you drink them, the last mental image that wafts over your head was that the guy whose leg was broken, that was his boyfriend. That was who he died defending. That he did what he always meant to do with his last action. Your hunger, Mr. Starwell, is at 0. And even though you are now full, there is also a feeling of emptiness that goes along with this. So, we have a couple options right now, since we're running a little over. We can finish this next week, or we can play out the remainder of this scene.
I can't really stick around, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll finish this off next week.
Then we will finish this. And this night, finally, on session 45.
Oh, such a good night, though. Oh, my goodness.
So much has happened.
Action-packed, like so much going on.
I mean, it's a coordinated attack against like everybody in
And
one
I got
night.
to do a superhero pose.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. look, she's gonna do the superhero landing. She's gonna do the superhero landing.
And look, I just happened to
The immortal words of
cosplay her
Elena.
sometime.
Yeah.
Such a
You just
poser.
you just look like Negasonic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just happened to, huh?
What are you gonna do? A sulky silence or some smarmy response? You got me painted in a box here.
XP has been awarded for this point, and we will see how our coterie manages to finally escape this particular situation.
I know, I've been holding my breath back here. I'm like, come on, just come on, do it.
Hi, sweetie.
So, with that said, our session, though not our chronicle, comes to an end tonight. We will see you all on Monday for session 45, and we will see you on Thursday for Blades in the Dark.
Yes. That's right, guys. We do Blades in the Dark on Thursday now at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that one's super fun because it's a family affair. Me and Zach's kiddo gets in on it. So a very, very fun time. And we are also looking for members for Thursday night, drop-in members. Feel free to hit me up on my Discord.
Yeah, if you're not
And
aware, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, we
Sorry.
have a TTRPG chat channel, and just let us know you're interested in joining us in one of our games. And
Yeah,
Knox is in there. Yeah, go ahead.
How Blades in the Dark plays is kind of like a drop in, drop out kind of way. Like, you know, we can have people drop in, drop out different weeks, so we don't always have to have the same cast like we do here with Vampire. So Vampire works great with our normal cast on Monday nights, but on Thursday nights, I think Knox and Pixie are looking to interview like new cast members and see if they make the cut. And if so, well, we might see some of you joining us on Thursday nights for Blades in the Dark, and that should be fun.
Anything anybody wants to plug or mention? Yeah.
Just
okay.
Thursdays.
All right. Well, thanks for sticking around. I know we ran a little late. We appreciate you guys. All the lurkers out there. I know just from I'm seeing Johnny's out there, Dark Wolf's out there. So thanks guys for sticking with us, and I shall see you all tomorrow for a new game. So have a great night, and we will see you next time. Stick around for the raid.